You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying.
Yo, yo, yo. My mic was off, man. What's good? What's good? What's good? Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Let's get right to it. What's good? We got. Hold on. We got Dub in the building, man. God bless you as well, brethren. God bless you, bro. Man, it's a blessing that you joined the stream, man. I'm talking about the channel, period. I don't know what made you find the channel, man, but I'm glad. Shout out to my boy Dub. Smoochie says she here. We here. Smoochie in the building. One time for the ladies. Say good morning, Doc. Good morning, Smoochie. You know, as always, man, we got to start off with our prayer, so let's get right to it. Let me fix the sub count at the top above me, or this way. It always resets, so I always got to refresh it when I switch scenes. All right, let me also do this, address this as well. And the good news is we have some good news today. I mean, it's not like crazy news, but good news nonetheless. Good news nonetheless. Don't forget to like the video. Let's get right to it, though. Hey. Please bow your heads, join me. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful day that we are in the midst of receiving, Lord. We also thank you for giving us the opportunity to continue writing our book and continue another chapter, Lord. And whatever we're going through, we know there's nothing that's bigger than you, and anything that's on our plate, we let us also be humble enough to realize that you put it there, or you allowed it to be there. So that means that we definitely have the ability and the strength to handle whatever it is and more, Lord. And also when we are at a crossroads in our life, where we are at a point that we don't know what to do, or we confused, or please give us the humility and the know-how, and also the desire to seek your consultation first, before we seek the consultation of our neighbors. Any trial or tribulation, or any question, or any confusion, Lord, let us give us the wisdom to approach you with it first. And then, if still necessary, then we could still, if it's still unclear, then we could go and ask our loved ones or somebody that we trust in. But Lord, all our problems, all our troubles, all our confusions, all our questions, go and please give us like I said, once again, the wisdom to seek your guidance first, first and foremost, Lord, because a lot of times you have the answer, and sometimes we go and seek elsewhere, or we put it upon ourselves, and a lot of times we come up with the wrong answer or the wrong conclusion, Lord. So please just continue to guide us and be at the forefront of our minds and our hearts and our spirits, Lord, and protect us throughout the day as well, whether we're staying in town or we're staying at home, going to work, traveling internationally, nationally, across state lines, locally, whatever it is, Lord. Please protect us from the evils in the world, Lord, and let us be some of the good and some of the bright lights for the world, in addition to the sun. Let us be a blessing to others as much as we want blessings for ourselves. Through Jesus' name, amen. Amen, amen, amen. All right, what I was gonna say. So we have oh yeah, so I was talking about the good news, man. So the good news is that we have a fight today. We have a fight today. We have a fight. Remember, I was telling this I think on Tuesday. We have fights on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. So hopefully nothing happens like yesterday with Lester Martinez, how it was canceled. How Lester Martinez and Joe James was canceled due to Lester Martinez falling ill after going through a weight cut. To me, that sounds like something that we seen Janibek recently do against Andre Mikhailovich, where he was trying to lose so much weight that he actually had to stop. I had to cancel the match, and hopefully that doesn't happen again today. But that's what happened. That's what I think happened with Lester. I don't have any documentation proving that, but I don't have any documentation proving otherwise either. I tried to look into it a little bit, and I don't know what happened. It just said that he fell ill after his weight cut, and that's why the fight yesterday was canceled. But there was still some other fights that were good on Pro Box, so it wasn't a terrible fight. It was a terrible event. And then today we have Andrea Holmes Jr. Going against Hugo Noriega. So Hugo Noriega is a Cuban fighter. Andrea Holmes Jr. is an American fighter. And they shall be fighting tonight at 8 o'clock on DAZN. So I'm looking forward to that. There's some other fights on the undercard as well, of course. I'm not too familiar with it. But yeah, he's an undefeated fighter. Andrea Holmes, he's 15-0, 30 years old. So I'm looking forward to this fight, man. He fights at the super welterweight or junior middleweight, 154, whatever you want to look at it, super welterweight, junior middleweight. You know what's so crazy about that, chat? When it comes to it's so funny because some weight classes I put the super and some I put the junior. Like, for example, 154, it sounds weird to call that super welterweight to me, but I call it junior middleweight. But then 168, I don't call it junior light heavyweight. I call it super middleweight because it sounds weird to call it junior light heavyweight. Or then super featherweight, 126. I don't call it junior lightweight. I think that sounds weird. I call it super featherweight and super bantamweight. But I call bantamweight and the one below that, I call it junior bantamweight. I don't call it super. What would that be? What's below bantam? Would it be super flyweight? I think flyweight's below bantam. So yeah, I don't call it super flyweight. I call it junior bantamweight. That's so weird. Some of them I call super junior, and then lightweight I call that I call it super lightweight and not junior lightweight. I mean, not junior welterweight. I call it super lightweight. That's crazy. I wonder why we do that. It's not always about you. This man got shot already. Thank you. I'm not even gonna protect you no more, Scholar. I ain't gonna lie. I can't protect you no more, bro. Oh my God. Go ahead and get early. You got the early boot. That's crazy. Thank you, Smoochie. I've been hearing some things, Scholar, and I don't like what I'm hearing, man. I ain't gonna protect you no more, bro. That you on your own. My boy Kendrick in the building. I came in with my gun ready. I'm telling you, she quick on the draw. Draw. Like the Magnificent Seven. Called Smoochie Sam Chisholm. I don't know if y'all watched the Magnificent Seven, the remake. Well, there's a whole bunch of remakes, right? And I think the original one that I saw, that was black and white. I think the original joint that was black and white that I saw was a remake. There's so many remakes, but I'm talking about the latest remake with Denzel and some others like Chris Pratt. You know, Denzel's character, his name is Sam Chisholm. We're going to call Smoochie Chisholm. Sam Smoochie, head ass. Quick on the draw, man. That's what I'm talking about. We got shooters on deck. I don't even know what Scholar said. I just see somebody got shot. Lock in, bro. What Scholar got going on? But the heck was that? Like my chair tried to break on me. But yeah, so we have Andrew Holmes Jr. versus which like I said, I'm not too familiar. I think I seen him fight once on the undercard or something, going against Hugo Noriega. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me look this up and confirm. I believe this is an event. You know, it's in Michigan. I believe this is an event that's put on by Clarissa Shields, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. It could be an event put on by Clarissa Shields. I think so, and that's dope, man. Let me read up on it and catch up on it. I believe I read that somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure about that. Because you know what? I don't think that she hosts her. I don't think she broadcasts her events on DAZN, and it's on DAZN. So I don't think so. So I take that back. I don't think so. At this point, it don't matter what he said. It's on site. Talk about being kicked. He always crying for attention. I wanna hear Doc talk boxing. I appreciate that, Smoochie. Yo, just do it. The building. What's good, brethren? What's good? She said, I want to hear. I appreciate that, Smoochie. You don't have to tell me what he said. I can't protect him no more. I can't. I be trying my best, man. I try to protect my boy. I can't protect him no more. So y'all ain't even got to tell me. Y'all do what y'all do. I tried. I swear I did. I swear I tried. I tried to look out for my boy, man. That's still my boy, but I can't protect him. So we have Andrew Holmes Jr. Let me see who's on the. I don't know who the undercard is, but I'm looking forward to that fight. It's tonight at 8 o'clock. So I said hopefully we don't have any distractions or any cancellations or anything. But also, man, I want to talk about, of course, just to give everybody a rundown. If you missed my video I dropped last night, and if you missed the late show, we had some pretty big news in the boxing world. Unfortunate news. Sad and solemn news in regards to Shakur Stevenson, man. He apparently he hurt his hand so bad that not only did he have to cancel the fight, but he had to undergo immediate surgery, and he out of the surgery now from the pictures and the reports that I'm hearing, and he's okay on the road to recovery. Hopefully he has a swift, full, and uneventful recovery, right? And so his fight with Joe Cordina was canceled. And like I said, it was just a roller coaster ride, right? Because Shakur Stevenson, just to give us brief synopsis of what's been going on with him for the last couple of months. He was a free agent. After he beat Artem Harutyunyan, he voiced his displeasure from not being able to land a big fight with Bob Arum, Top Rank. Specifically, the fight that he was looking for while he was on Top Rank would have been one of the easiest to facilitate, and that would have been against Vasily Lomachenko. But he also didn't get Teofimo. He also didn't get anybody else that was on there, or they didn't make a big fight with anybody across the street. So because they weren't able to bring that or expedite that process for him to get a big fight, which I think he deserves and we all know he wants, he decided to part ways and sign with Eddie Hearn with Hearn and Matchroom. And so his first fight was slated to be Williams Zepeda, after Williams Zepeda had been going months and months with calling him out after fights, during fights, before fights, post-fights and pre-fights interviews. He's been calling him out, and then when Shakur finally obliged him and paid attention, then Zepeda, he didn't want to do it. They denied it and tried to use it as Oscar tried to use Zepeda as a luring, as a way to lure Shakur into signing with Golden Boy, and he gave him an ultimatum saying, "Oh, you're only going to fight Zepeda if you sign with Golden Boy." So that didn't happen. He signed with Eddie Hearn at Matchroom, and then apparently Big Turk is interested in the Shakur fight and Zepeda fight as well. So he wanted to make that fight happen. He seemingly agreed with Eddie Hearn and Shakur and Oscar on it, and he even agreed with the latter, with Oscar, on television in front of everybody on live television, on the fight between Virgil Ortiz and Serhiy Boachuk. They agreed in front of everybody, but then when the fight was supposed to be made, Zepeda said that he was out, because he had an addition to his family. Shout out to the Zepeda clan. So he said he wasn't going to fight in September, October, or November, according to Eddie Hearn. So then Eddie Hearn, what he did what he does best, and that's pivot, right? Just like with Jaron Boots in this, when Jaron Boots in this, Cody Crowley had to pull out his mandatory. When his mandatory pulled out, he pivoted and got an arguably better opponent for Boots and David Avenesian. So now he did the same thing with Joe Cordina. When Zepeda didn't want to fight in those months, he pivoted. Now, was a pivot as good as a David Avenesian pivot? Probably not, but it was still, Joe Cordina wasn't bad. He only suffered his first loss. He only has one loss, and it was his first loss, and that was to Anthony Kakasi by stoppage, though. And so people are worried about that fight because he's moving up as well and coming off his loss. But I feel like that was the best that he could do. But the point is that he went from Zepeda, which was a good fight, to Cordina, which was it's an okay fight, to now, which is the worst case scenario, no fight, and Zepeda is actually fighting in November, on November 16th against Tevin Farmer. Now, so that's just a brief summary to where we're at now. No, sorry. So I skipped the very last part. So while Zepeda is fighting Tevin Farmer, it was understood that Shakur was going to fight Joe Cordina. So they both have an interim, and then they're going to meet up in February. But now that Joe Cordina doesn't have an opponent now, since Shakur has hurt his hand, had to undergo immediate surgery. And it's funny because Shakur didn't have an opponent. He got Joe Cordina, and now Joe Cordina doesn't have an opponent after Shakur have to pull out. But the good news is, which I think is good news, Shakur is planning on, once he fully recovers, he plans on being able to meet that timeline of the anticipated February date, the scheduled anticipated date with Williams Zepeda in February. He says that he's going to plan to come back and jump right into that fight. Now, I think Shakur would beat Zepeda, but I thought Zepeda and Shakur would be a good fight. I think that I think you could have some questions on whether or not he should get a tune-up in between, but I never thought he needed a tune-up anyway. I think that the tune-up was strictly because of whatever deal they had going on once Zepeda said that he wasn't going to fight him this year. He said it was because of his baby being born. I was like, that's a good reason, you do whatever you want. But then, once he come back and said that he's going to be fighting in November regardless, even though he said he wasn't initially, then to me that sounds like somebody ducking. So it's kind of hard to make an excuse for him regardless, by hook or by crook, because once, I only like to call people ducks, but I think that the people that should be called ducks should be called ducks. You know what I'm saying? It should be appropriate, and actual and factual. And if you're calling out somebody, and then when they're ready to fight you, then you don't want to fight them, and then you say so much so that you don't want to fight them that you're not fighting for the rest of the year, and then you come back and fight somebody once the other person gets an opponent. That's crazy, man. My boy Legacy in the building. My boy Mike in the building. What's good, Mike? So yes sir. So when that stuff happens, it's kind of, I just don't think it's necessary. Like, why are you calling out somebody that you don't want to fight anyway? But anyway, I still want to see that fight. I still think it's a good fight. If you would have asked me a couple weeks ago, before all this stuff transpired, I said that Williams Zepeda, I think, has a good chance against Shakur. Doesn't mean that I think he'll win. I think the favorite is Shakur. I think the only person that beat Shakur, in my opinion, in my estimation, doesn't mean that I'm right, but the only person I think beat Shakur is Tank, and the only person I think could beat Tank is Shakur. But upsets happen in boxing. We've seen crazier things, and would I be surprised if Zepeda beat Shakur? Yeah. But I do think he has a good chance. But I take all that back because I'm not sure that he believes he could beat Zepeda now. I mean, I'm not sure that Zepeda believes he could beat Shakur. However, it definitely works in Zepeda's favor if Shakur's coming off an injury, even if it heals properly, which I'm hoping it will. You know, it's still you still might have that in the back of your mind. Like, you know, it's like when a basketball player hurts their Achilles, or anybody has an injury. You know, when you're first recovering and getting back, you're a little weary. You know what I'm saying? You feel like it's a little shaky because you're not sure if it's gonna hold up. So anybody's been injured in anything before, you know what I'm talking about. So he may still have that lingering over him, but I think Shakur would still win. But I'm just not even confident that the fight will happen, to be honest with you. It should, but I don't know. My boy Clone in the building. What's good, brethren? What's good, man? So yeah, so that's where we're at with the Shakur situation. You know, he plans on coming back and jumping straight into the Zepeda fight, which is good news. You know, because that's a good fight as far as Zepeda being the mandatory in WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF, and he's a good contender. So look forward to that one. Now, next thing up is Canelo, right? Cinnamon has been talking again. My boy said that not only is a fight that he's having with Berlanga in a couple of days on the 14th, Mexican Independence Day on Saturday, not only did he say that fight is too easy, he said fácil, muy fácil, very easy. He also said that Terence Crawford is muy fácil también. You know, he said he's very easy too. And I just think it's funny, man. Like, you know, like I said, y'all know my boy is Cinnamon, man. Shout out to Oscar in the building. El Jefe Oscar is crazy. So, not saying he's not a boss, but then, y'all, you see how people do? Why you ain't call Clone El Jefe Clone? Why you ain't say El Jefe Mike? Why you ain't say El Jefe Dub? But you said El Jefe Oscar. But then when I play that music, and I play for Clone, no one says nothing. I play for Smoochie, no one says nothing. But if I play for Oscar, I'm the one that do something wrong. And boy, y'all be projected, boy. Y'all be projected, boy. That joke be funny, man. Y'all crazy, man. I love y'all, man. Y'all wild. Y'all definitely brighten up the chat, man, for real. But I'm working on everyone's nicknames. Okay. I do. Okay, you're right. That's true. She says Felonious, Clonius, and then El Jefe Oscar. Okay. How did I start it? I have no clue. Kendrick, did I start it? Is that true? Are these allegations true? To me, these are these are falsified. I started it. How did I start it? How did I start anything? That's wrong. Like. Erroneous allegations. Erroneous. She said I started it. Bullshit. So we introduced El Jefe because of Oscar? No, we did not. You just made that up and you're pushing a false narrative. I was doing El Jefe before Oscar was even in the stream. I did not start it. You associated that with Oscar for whatever reason. You got to go within your soul and answer those questions. I was. You just made that up. You just made that up, bro. Yep, we noticed when he started playing. That's crazy, and that's a complete lie. That's a complete lie. Oh man. That's like, that's okay. So if somebody big boned and fat and obese come in the chat, and then I play and they do a super chat and I drop this. Y'all gonna say I did it for them? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Or y'all gonna say if I play this?
No, did he?
Y'all gonna say that I did it because there's a homosexual in the chat or a bisexual in the chat? No, we just do this because it's fun. Y'all making something else. The crazy thing is I asked for the song, you get thank you, Oscar. Thank you, bro. It's crazy, bro. And the crazy, but what makes it even crazier though, Oscar? El Jefe started the same day though. It did. It was the same day Oscar joined. But look, I think I played it for Dub the most. Am I lying? Dub, am I lying? I think I played that for you the most. If we had to put a counter on how many times I play El Jefe, I think I played it for Dub the most. P looking like ABC, they'll push it. I mean, facts. Bro, you know what's crazy though? Look at this. Look at this. The dude is black, bro. Now, he could be a black Hispanic. He could. You know what I'm saying? Could be an Afro-Latino, you know? But I don't think so, bro. I think so. I don't even know how y'all are doing that. Like, a black person can't listen to I can't like a music sung by a Mexican or a Puerto Rican or a Hispanic person or Indian or European, like, or overall white person. Like, come on, bro. I remember it was 1 hour before Oscar came in. Really? That's crazy. Appreciate it. But look what he said, though. Look what he said. 1 hour before, not after, not during, not simultaneously, prior to, before, pre-Oscar. Thank you, Dub. Thank you, Dub. So out here, Smoochie and Clone, fake news. Smoochie and Clone are spreading fake news.
If you out here getting fake vagina over your fake jury, reality is reality.
Out here capping, bro, for no reason, dog. Stephen A is crazy, bro. Y'all be out here capping, bro, for no reason, dog. I don't get it. That's how it be in real life, though, for real. That's how it be. That's how it be in real life. Doc P. Smith had that. I think Ty calls me that when it comes to Caitlin Clark. When I talk about Caitlin Clark, somehow, some way, even though I'm very even, if you go look at my WNBA videos, whenever I talk about Caitlin Clark, though, because I said that she's good. Just like I say Angel Reese is good. It's like I say Rickea Jackson is good. All the rookies. Cameron Brink with a broke leg. All of a sudden, I'm Doc A. Smith. That's what he call me, Doc A. Smith, because apparently I favor Caitlin Clark or something because I... That's crazy, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, bro. Oh man, but anyway, man. So Canelo was you know, like I said, he's been very audacious lately. Y'all know Cinnamon, one of my favorite fighters. Him, I'll say my two favorite fighters right now are Cinnamon and Tank. Yeah, those are probably my two favorite fighters, but y'all know I like Caleb Plant a lot. Y'all know I like Errol Spence a lot. Y'all know I like David Benavidez, Bivol Beterbiev, Fury, Terrence Bud Crawford. I like him a lot. So y'all know that. So I got a lot of favorite fighters, but those are probably the top two. But with Cinnamon, you know, I just think it's funny because, you know, I've always valued people controlling their own destiny. That's what we all want to do, right? We all ideally, no matter what field of work we're in, or no matter what our occupation is, you know, whether we're working in academia as a professor or even as a student, researcher, you know what I'm saying, and working on a project or grad school or whatever it is, or if you're working in sports or music or in industry and at a bank or any type of business, right? You want to be able to control what you do next and control your own destiny and not be penalized for it and be able to do what you want, you know, and make your own decisions and your own choices. That's a position that Canelo was in. That's a position that Floyd was in, you know, and I don't think that as a face of boxing, you get anything. I don't think you get that position from being given. I believe it's being earned. It's a position that you earned, you know, for Floyd and Canelo, especially with Floyd, you know. So now Cinnamon's in that position, and of course, when he does certain things, we're not gonna like it immediately, you know. Like a lot of people didn't like his Jaime Munguia fight because of not because of Jaime Munguia, but because of who he's not fighting, right? David Benavidez. If David Benavidez didn't exist, like I told people all the time, or if he was in a different weight division, then him versus Munguia, the young lion versus the old lion, that's a good fight. You know, everybody would have liked it before. That's why I appreciated the fight. Now, when he fought Edgar Berlanga, this fight here, it's a little disappointing because a lot of people, the consensus is that Edgar Berlanga doesn't deserve the fight. Well, he is ranked number one for the WBA, so it's not that bad of a fight from the ranking standpoint. But even with the rankings, you know, number one is William Skull too, and nobody wants to see that fight for the IBF. So I'm not saying just because he's ranked number one that it's a good fight by any means, but I am saying that it's not like he's fighting somebody that's ranked number 13 like Naya Inoue did against TJ Doheny, which got minimal backlash because a lot of times people don't pay attention to the lower weights, but then they act like they do and try to say who's available for at super bantamweight to fight and not fighting, and who he could have made it with. But the point is that Edgar Berlanga is pretty much seen as a easy fight for Canelo. I do think Berlanga has a chance, but what I think is funny, the audacity of Canelo is that he's audacious enough to pick an easy fight and then tell us. The man is audacious enough to pick an easy fight, what is perceived as an easy fight, and then he proceeds to tell us how easy it's gonna be. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's gangster, man. You can hate it if you want, but if you sit back and just look at it objectively, bro, that's gangster, man. The man literally picked a fight that nobody believes. He picks an opponent that no one believes is deserving of the shot, right? Or from a skill standpoint. I don't really care about deserving from a monetary standpoint or from a ranking standpoint. But as far as skills, we think that Canelo is seriously outclasses Berlanga just from a skill standpoint, from a experience standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Veteran and just everywhere across the board. Besides maybe power, I'll say I would lean towards one-shot power being with Edgar Berlanga. But I always give the example, and I'm sure y'all heard this example of like if you had two guys. With a gun, one had an Uzi and one had a pistol, but one was experienced and one was just spraying and praying. Essentially, who would you go with? You know, you'd rather have a guy that's a good shot with a pistol than a guy who's just a novice or amateur with an Uzi, just spraying everywhere and being inaccurate. So I do think that Berlanga has power, but I don't have confidence in his accuracy or precision with that power. And I think that's indicative of how his last fights went after his phenomenal streak of 16, going 16-0 with 16 knockouts in the first round. When he stepped up to the competition, and none of the competition was anywhere close to a first time in history undisputed at super middleweight caliber fighter like Canelo Alvarez, you know, future all-time great, he is an all-time great, future Hall of Famer. None of them have been close to that caliber. So I think Edgar Berlanga is one of the top guys in the 168 division, but I do think of the top guys, he is the worst. You know, I think that I think Caleb Plant beats him. I think Canelo beats him. I think both the Davids, Morrell and Benavidez, if they're at 168, I think they both beat him. I think Jaime Munguia beats him. I think Christian and Billy beats him. And I think him and Diego Pacheco would be a good fight, but I would lean towards Pacheco, especially after Pacheco's last performance where he knocked out Sulecki, the first person to ever stop him, even though he's a little older, but still. So I would lean towards even Ozzy Iglesias. I would lean towards Ozzy Iglesias. I think he only has 11 fights. I think I would lean towards him over Berlanga. So it's not that Berlanga is a bad fighter, but of the top guys, I think he's subpar. But with that being said, everybody's doubting him. And he could potentially get the upset of the year. However, that doesn't change. If you're expecting somebody to get an upset of the year, then that kind of is indicative of him not belonging, or us doubting that he belongs in the ring with his opponent, which is Canelo right now. And I just think it's funny that Canelo's just telling everybody how it's easy and how how Berlanga hits like his son. And he said, "You hit like my son." He said, "I will whoop you." And he's just like, man, he doesn't have experience. He doesn't have IQ. And he's just basically saying that he's gonna punish him. So I don't mind it, but it's just funny that he's doing that. He's saying all this stuff where we already think it's going to be an easy fight for him. But then not only that, he also added another name into the mix that he believes is going to be easy. And as you can see right there, you see it's Terence Crawford. He said, man, Terence Crawford, that's an easy fight. He said, especially after seeing how he performed against Israel Madrimov at 154, he said, no. Now I think he realizes, him speaking on Terence Crawford, he said, now I think Terence Crawford realizes that there's weight divisions for a reason, which I always said, right? I do agree with Canelo there. But he did say that he'll take the fight. He said anything can happen. If the offer's right, he'll take the fight. But I've always said I don't think this fight should happen. And if I'm Cinnamon, I wouldn't fight the fight unless I get unless I charge them an exorbitant fee, you know what I'm saying, to where like it is almost ridiculous, because out of the monetary incentive, the financial incentive, what is the point of him fighting Terence Crawford? Terence Crawford just moved up to a new division, and he beat an undefeated champion in Israel Madrimov, which is very impressive, no matter how much he struggled, because you should struggle moving up to your 4th or 5th weight division and claiming a title in your debut. So there's nothing wrong with struggling right there. I mean, that's when you're supposed to struggle. I think if you're going to struggle at any time in your career, it'll be when you're moving up, reaching for more greatness, and in addition to the greatness that you already achieved. So that's number one. So that's out the gate. It's not bad that he looked. It's not bad that he struggled. However, it is something to consider when the person that struggled at 154 has aspirations to go up to 168, which is not one but two weight classes above. So essentially, if you really think about it, outside of his last fight, some people will still consider Terence Crawford a welterweight, a 147 pounder. So if you think about it that way, he's 3 divisions below Canelo, right? 154, 160, 168. But if you say that he's acclimated to the weight of 154, I mean, he is a belt holder. So then he's still 2 weight divisions below. And not only that, you have to factor in that Canelo, yes, he's 168, but he's been a champion at light heavyweight. He's been all the way to 175, twice actually. So against Sergey Kovalev where he won, and then against Bivol where he lost. And even though he lost against Bivol, he just looked like he bit off more than he could chew, and Bivol was just a bigger guy. He didn't get knocked out, he didn't get dropped, he didn't get devastated, but he did get he got outpointed. And I say that to say that Bivol is a good fighter, and so is Canelo. They're both very skilled, and that fight with Bivol and Canelo, to me, it looked like 2 skilled guys, but one was a bigger skilled guy, one was a smaller skilled guy. And I think it's going to be even more evident and more drastic of a weight disparity between Canelo and Terence Crawford, even though they're similar in height. Their vertical dimension, they're not similar in mass, because size is measured by length, width, and height, a 3-dimensional thing, a 3-dimensional metric, right? So with that being said, I think the weight disparity is going to be even more. And similar to Bivol and Canelo, though, they're both skilled. Terence Crawford and Canelo, they're both very skilled. I would even argue that Terence Crawford may be slightly more skilled, but it's not a huge gap. But you know what a huge gap is? You know what a huge differential is? That size. And so when you have 2 skilled people, you're gonna go with the skilled person that's bigger. So I always would go with Cinnamon over Terence Crawford. But the fact that I even believe that it's interesting is a testament to Terence Crawford's greatness, because there's no way that I should believe that a welterweight should be able to even stand a chance against a super middleweight. But because Terence Crawford's so great, I think he does have a chance. But I think Canelo's gonna win. But with that being said, Canelo, even though he said, which I do agree, I think it's a lose-lose, because if he wins, it's a catch-22. If he wins, they're gonna say, "Oh, he's supposed to win because he was too small," just like similarly like they did to him versus Jamel Charlo, which I agree. I never liked the Jamel Charlo fight anyway. I prefer Jamal. And then similarly to what they do with Tank right now, in regards to like a lot of his opponents, most notably Leo Santa Cruz. Everybody says, "Oh, you're so small." So that's what they're going to do if Canelo beats Terence Crawford. They're going to say, "Oh, he's supposed to win, he's so small." But then if he loses, some people think he's a fraud, and some people think he's a duck, like he's ducking Benavidez and all this other stuff, and he fights people when they're old or vulnerable. They're going to say he's even more of a fraud if he loses to Terence Crawford, no matter how phenomenal Terence Crawford is. He's still going to be seen as a smaller guy. So like I said, so unless he gets paid a huge amount of money, I wouldn't do it if I was him either. But the funny thing is, though, a lot of people think that he's not doing it because of the threat that Terence Crawford poses, and that could be true. That could be true. Like I said, I think in this case, even with a large amount of money, I think the risk outweighs the reward. But it's like, shoot, if I can get paid money, then I'm gonna do it. And he said that he does want the money. I think he threw out a number at 150 million for him and 200 for Benavidez. But the funny thing is, though, he said that Terence Crawford is easy. So then now, when him saying that it's easy is like he's opening the door for more criticism, because like, hey man, everybody like free money. Or easy money, I should say, because it's not free. He still has to fight. So if it's easy money, then you should probably do it. You look at it like that, especially if you're not going to fight Benavidez, who I think Benavidez is probably the only person that he could fight right now that'll garner more interest than him and Terence Crawford. I would say probably Benavidez, and probably generate more money too. Unless you including, unless Turkey Al-Sheikh drops a huge bag, But as far as like revenue generation and interest from the public, I think that El Monstro will be the only fight that would probably be bigger than him and Terence Crawford right now, and I think that's the biggest fight in boxing. You know what I'm saying? He wants payday. That's a fact. But I'm not knocking it. But I just think it's funny that Canelo said everybody's easy, and I believe him. Like I said, I have Canelo beating Terence Crawford. I definitely have Canelo beating Berlanga, and I even have Canelo beating Benavidez as well. But that doesn't mean that they don't pose the biggest risk to him. And it would be an easy fight. I think that him and Benavidez would be a difficult fight, but I still have my boy Cinnamon coming out on top. I think Terence Crawford will be an interesting fight for a couple rounds, and then he's gonna go in one way, and that's in Cinnamon's way. after he wears him down. But we'll see, man. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the decisions are right now. In the imminent future, we have Canelo versus Berlanga, and I'm interested in that. And I think Berlanga does have a chance, but I don't think it's a huge chance. I think it's a slim chance. So we'll see how it goes. But and he does want a payday. I agree with what Oscar said. I think anybody who wants to fight Terence Crawford, anybody that wants to fight Cinnamon, anybody that wants to fight anybody is not in their division and they never been in that division, I think it's, obvious that it's for, they see the potential money that could be made, the revenue that could be generated. I think it's all for money reasons. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody, you should always want to maximize your pay. That's what, in any field, what I'm saying, whether you're a celebrity or otherwise, whether you get paid a lot or a little, you always want to get the most you can for doing a similar job. However, I will say this though too, if anybody deserves a payday, it's Terence Crawford, because Terence Crawford he's undefeated, and until he loses, we should, anything that he says he could do, we should believe him. So he's undisputed in 2 weight divisions. He just went to another weight division and got another belt. So anything that he says he could do, then I think that we owe him as a courtesy, not even a courtesy. It's a response. We're responsible as boxing fans to believe it, because he hasn't gave us any reason to doubt him. You know what I'm saying? Any real doubt of Terence Crawford and anything that he sets his eyes on, or any endeavors that he pursues, if we doubt it, it's just us, being extra. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be critical. That don't mean that you can't say, oh, okay, use common sense and say, yeah, man, if he struggled at 154, then most likely he's going to struggle even more at 168. But still, he still overcame that struggle. We can't forget that most important part. When you hear some people talk about Terence Crawford and Madrimov, if you didn't watch the fight, you didn't know the outcome, you would have think he lost. The way some people talk about it, it's like, bro, y'all know he won, right? Like, and then so, and some people say that it could have been a draw, should have been a draw. I disagree. I think that Terence Crawford won. It was a close fight. It was a struggle fight, but I thought he won. Like, if Israel Madrimov would have won, I thought it would have been a robbery. Not a big robbery, but it would have been a robbery. I think a draw would have been a robbery, similar to Drell, Big Baby Miller, and Andy Ruiz. Like, that draw was a robbery. Miller beat Ruiz, but I don't think that fight, Israel Madrimov, I definitely don't think he could have won. He won that fight at all. But I thought that the right person won in a close fight, in my personal opinion. And so while I do think Terence Crawford loses to Canelo, I think I owe him, from a boxing fan standpoint, to believe him, because he's been showing me. Look how he devastated Errol Spence, who thought that fight would have ended like that or went down like that. So while I don't think he's going to be able to achieve it, I do think, because of what he's done, that it's intriguing and it's interesting. I'm interested in doing it now. Just because I say he deserves it doesn't mean that everybody gets what they deserve either. It's up to Canelo, right? Canelo's in this position. It's him. It's Canelo who is the payday. He's the one that's a cash cow. So he also deserves to fight whoever he wants to. And because he's in that position, that means that not only does he deserve, he can actually bring into fruition or not bring into fruition any fight that he wants. So if he wants a fight, he gets it. If he doesn't want to fight, then he doesn't do it either. So he does have that luxury of being able to choose what fights he wants and choose which ones he doesn't want as well. So if he doesn't want it, that's fine too. So if this fight doesn't happen by hook or by crook, I don't think anybody's ducking. I don't think that there's a problem with that, but I'll be interested in it. But I think Canelo wins. But it's just funny that he's saying that they're easy. He also said that Benavidez is easy. It's just that he brings in an extra 25 pounds to the ring. So I think that's funny as heck. He said, oh, Bud versus Nello, they are both class fighters, but Nello's way younger and bigger than Bud. Yeah, I agree. I would say it was close, more competitive against Metro. Yeah, exactly, Oscar. So I thought it was a competitive, close fight. I think it was close, but I don't think it was close to where it didn't have a clear win. Like I say, like Richardson Hitchens and Gustavo Lemos. A lot of people say that was a controversial fight. I don't think that fight was controversial at all. I think that was a close fight that had a clear winner. I think sometimes you can have a close fight and have clear winners. Same with Usyk and Anthony Joshua. I think those fights were close, but I thought it had a clear winner. And so I think the same thing, even though one was a split decision, right? The second one, I believe, was a split decision. I still think that, like, Gustavo Lemos, the rounds were close, but he did enough to edge it out, not Gustavo Lemos. So I thought Richardson Hitchens did enough to edge it out. I remember I had him winning 8-4, I believe. So I had him winning comfortably. He just did enough to edge it out. Was it a struggle? Yeah. It was difficult at times. Did Gustavo Lemos have good moments? Yeah, of course. And so did Israel Madrimov, and so did Anthony Joshua. In regards to Richardson Hitchens, Terence Crawford, and Alexander Usyk, respectively. I thought they all had good moments, but I thought the rightful person won. But I agree. Yeah, I can see what you're saying too, Oscar. Like, I wouldn't say it was close, more competitive. Yeah, I can see that too. So with that being said, I do think that Canelo. I think Canelo. I don't know about it being easy. But I think it's funny, man, and that's why some people are so hard on him, because he won't fight the fights that they want, but then turn around and throw it in your face, say it's easy, and even say the ones that he hasn't had are easy as well. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'm still holding out hope and faith that he's gonna fight Benavidez, man. I don't know when, but if he doesn't, I'm cool with that too, because let's look at Floyd Mayweather. You know, I think Floyd's a GOAT, but you know, I wasn't excited when he fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero. You know, I wasn't entirely excited when he fought Maidana when it was announced, but then when actually DeMarcos Maidana and Floyd Mayweather, when that fight actually went down and went into the rematch of Floyd Mayweather and Maidana, I was excited because it was close. You know, Maidana overachieved and overperformed in my opinion. So the fight was actually good, but going into it when it was first called and announced, I wasn't excited about Mayweather versus Maidana. I wasn't excited about Mayweather versus Guerrero. I wasn't excited about Mayweather versus Berto. I definitely wasn't excited about Mayweather versus McGregor. But at the same time, I recognize, hey man, you know what fight I was excited for? I was excited for Floyd versus Sugar Shane. Even though it happened way later than we wanted, that's what everybody says, that's what everybody's mad about, and they somehow only blame Floyd for that. I was still excited for Floyd versus Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? I was still excited. I was excited for Mayweather versus Cotto. I was excited for Mayweather versus Corrales. Rest in peace, Diego Corrales. I was excited for Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, Mayweather Hatton. You see what I'm saying? So I can go on and on and on about all the fights that I was excited for. Mayweather Super Judah, you know, Zab Judah. There's so many fights. I was even excited about Mayweather and Chop Corley, DeMarcus Corley. So there's so many fights that I was excited about from Floyd that, you know, I feel like, hey man, you know, he earned the right to pick a fight that I don't necessarily approve of. I mean, who am I, right? I'm just a fan, and if I don't like it that much, then don't watch it. And I won't if I dislike something that much. Like his exhibitions, no disrespect, I think Floyd is a GOAT, but his first exhibition that I watched was his last one against John Gotti, that rematch. I don't watch exhibitions. I don't like them. You know, I think they're dope for because I feel like it's kind of giving back to the boxers that are retired and letting them get their I say they're just due and get their respect and get their and celebrate them, man. Get some money in their pocket. So I think it's dope for them, but it's not nothing that I'm interested in. I want to see fighters in their prime, athletic fighters, and fight. That's what I want to see. I don't just want to see. I just don't get excited from seeing names in the ring. You know, I get excited from watching fighters fight what I think are competitive fights and at a professional highest level, world class level. So if it's something I'm not into, I'm not gonna watch it. But a lot of people like to complain and then they still watch it anyway, which is crazy. To me, it's funny the media say controversial when the media is the one making it controversial. Talk to him. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything's, you can't have close fights. You know, you can't have boxing without some controversy, right? Let me read these updates, man. I got some updates right here, man. It says Ryan Garcia has called out Teofimo Lopez. Ryan Garcia. That's crazy.
We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
So it says Ryan Garcia has called out Teofimo and said he wants to fight him in his comeback when his ban is lifted in April. That would be a great fight. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I don't really care for his cheating ass, that would be Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez would be great. I'm not gonna lie, man. That fight would be great, and I would be interested in that fight. But we talk about a fight that's supposed to happen in April. Like, what are we doing, man? It's September, and we have so many fights in the interim. So you know, so many things can change between now and April in the real world, not just in the boxing world. So I believe it when I see it. But that is an interesting fight. And then we also have another thing. We have Manny Pacquiao sparring with that big streamer, Show Speed. I ain't gonna lie, but that boy, that young man, I think that's dope, man. He out there living his best life, man, doing what he loves and getting paid a large amount of money for it. That's the dream, man. In other news too, Anthony Joshua has came out and said that Shakur Stevenson is the best U.S. boxer. He said the best boxer is Shakur Stevenson. That's what Anthony Joshua said. The best U.S. boxer, excuse me, the best U.S. boxer. So that's what Anthony Joshua said, and I think that's dope, man. I like when to see the fighters give each other their flowers, and you know what I'm saying. I disagree, but I'm not mad at the proclamation. I'm not mad at it because he's definitely a very good fighter. He's definitely a great fighter, what we consider to be great. I just think he needs it to demonstrate it and showcase it more against higher opposition, which is not necessarily his fault. You know, his lack of opposition is, you could blame it, to me, I blame it on Top Rank and Bob Arum, but he's definitely a good fighter. Definitely a great fighter. Hell, he's a champion right now in a division that's hot, you know. Eddie probably asked him to say that. My boy B-Dog in the building. This man said Eddie probably asked him to say that, bro. That's messed up. That's disrespectful, bro.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
Maybe he did, though. Speed is definitely winning that life. Amen. That's a fact. That's a fact. He said, Oscar said, guarantee he's going to want to make it a catchweight. Facts. Yeah, he's not going to fight at 140. But now, what does that lead us to believe, though, Oscar? Yeah, I don't think he'll fight at 140. I don't think Ryan ever fights at 140 again. He has it in his last two fights, right? His fight against Devin Haney famously didn't make 140, and then his fight against Oscar Duarte, he didn't make 140. But that leads us to believe, right? What did we see? We saw Teofimo with Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, and everybody's making a big deal out of that, right? Like he could join them or something like that, him and his father. We'll see how that goes, but what did they say about that? I don't know if you've been catching it, Oscar. I should have dropped a video on it, but I just thought it wasn't really big news. But we'll talk about it now. The news was that not only was he with Canelo, but they said he looked big. Yeah, they said that he looked very big. Pause. Hey yo. Yeah, looking big is crazy. I don't know what they meant by that.
What do you mean by that?
But they said they said he looked real big.
No, did he?
They said that he looked huge.
What?
Hey, yo, this is what everybody was saying now. This is not me. I'm just repeating. You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what they were saying, man. So they were saying that, yeah. So they were all enamored and impressed by his size. Hey, yo. So that's what they're saying. So my point in saying that is maybe Ryan Garcia also feels the same way. Maybe he feels like it's big, and maybe it's indicative of him potentially going up to 147, because what has he also been doing, right? He called out Brian Norman since he has since retracted that call out, but he called out Brian Norman at 147. He's been talking about potentially moving up to 154 and fighting Terence Crawford. He's been flirting and teasing with potentially going up to welterweight. So if that's true, then Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo could potentially and likely be at 147. And I still would be interested in that fight, but I think that Ryan Garcia I've always looked at Ryan Garcia as potentially the biggest, him and Devin Haney. So I think that they would put on the weight and be acclimated to the 147, the best out of all those guys. You know, Shakur, Tank, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo. Always thought that Haney and Ryan Garcia would transition to 147 the easiest, you know, smoothest. But I think Teofimo could probably make it as well. And I think that's an interesting fight. So I'm not gonna lie, man. At 147, that's very interesting. At 140, of course, I have Teofimo, but at 147, it's very interesting, man. Very interesting. But I don't know if it'll happen. Like I said, my boy Doc. Like I said, my boy. I was gonna say it's very interesting, but we don't know where Teofimo's at. You know, he can still stay at 140. He's been the longest reigning champ at 140 right now. And then, like I said, Ryan Garcia, he out until April. He gone to November. Past November, you know what I'm saying, like Wyclef. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Didn't Oscar want to push Ryan versus Oscar was also pushing Ryan versus Orjo Latisse as well. Yeah, they flirted with that as well. But when did they do that? When Ryan Garcia was suspended. So it's just a name. It's, in my opinion, it's just a way to keep him relevant. You know, since he's been suspended, I've never seen a person have so many fights while being suspended. This man has had the most fights while being inactive in the history of boxing. You know, he was supposed to fight since he's been suspended, he's supposed to fight Devin Haney again for the rematch. He was supposed to fight Gervonta Tank Davis for a rematch. Supposed to fight Errol Spence. They talked about him fighting Jerron Boots Ennis. They talked about him now with Teofimo. They talked about him fighting Virgil Ortiz Jr. They talked about him fighting Conor Benn. Like, they come on, bro. He also said that Terence Crawford was trash, that he'll beat Terence Crawford. So I was like, he's supposed to beat everybody. You know, the man got suspended, and I guess that Austrian's still Austrian's still in the system because he still feel like the Hulk. I guess he feel like he gonna beat everybody. I don't know what's going on. You know. But anyway, that's all the energy I'm gonna give to Ryan Garcia, because
we do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all.
Yeah, facts. He said, Ryan Garcia, what's up, Cito? Cito in the building. My boy Karate Body in the building. Supporter in the building. Ryan Garcia is a great fighter if he stays disciplined and focused. I disagree, but he's also losing his gift, and I believe he needs a lot of mental health. Yeah, so I know you're new to the stream, Shito, new to the channel, but like I said, I believe Ryan Garcia was good. I thought he was good enough to beat Devin Haney. I think I'm one of the few. I don't know. Let me know. Maybe you did as well. But I'm one of the few people that is documented. I bet money on Ryan Garcia. I thought Ryan Garcia would beat Devin Haney, but I do not subscribe to cheating, and I do not give anybody an excuse for cheating, you know, and I'm very consistent with that. And so I have to believe that if you feel like you had to cheat, then you didn't feel like you were adequate enough to win off your own merit. Now, with that being said, I never thought Ryan Garcia was a great fighter, though. I just thought that he had the tools to beat Devin Haney specifically. Like, so I think he has a lot of holes in his game. I think his defense is bad. I think his his footwork isn't bad, but it's not the best. His pacing isn't the best either. He tries to go all out, but I thought for Devin Haney, that would be perfect for Devin Haney, in which I was right, but I was wrong, because I didn't anticipate him having Ostarine in the system, or PED in the system. But I thought that because he starts off fast, because he's the same size as Haney, because he's young like Haney, because he starts off fast, and he has fast hands, and he's strong, and he has a big left hook, I thought that spells disaster for Devin Haney, because Devin Haney's defense is not the best either. And I would say that his defense, more so with that, he doesn't really roll with the punches, right? Devin Haney, when he gets hit pretty hard. As Jorge Linares and even Lomachenko, he got stunned by him. So that's why I thought that Ryan Garcia would beat him. But I never thought that was indicative of him being a great fighter. Now, is he good? Yeah, he's good. You know, I think of him similarly to how I think of Edgar Berlanga. Like, Edgar Berlanga is a top guy at 168, but of the top guys, he's the weakest as far as boxing acumen goes, and fundamentals and skill. So what I'm saying is, like, out of Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, and I'm missing some, and Subra Matias, I thought that they were the top guys at 135 and 140, but I thought Ryan Garcia was the worst as far as boxing skill goes. But does that mean that he can't win? No, obviously I bet on Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney, who I think is one of the most skilled, because it's about how you put everything, your attributes or your characteristics together. And I thought that, you know, Devin Haney's issue is that he's a little chinny, you know, he has a weak chin. And so I thought that Ryan Garcia would be able to exploit that. But as far as being a great fighter, nah. I mean, he tried to do that little Philly shell, and he'd be leaving his kidneys open. He even did that against Devin Haney, as Devin Haney wasn't strong enough to hurt him. You know, he even turned his back on Oscar Duarte, and but I do think he would be better if he stays focused. I do agree with that, though. If he stays focused and he's disciplined, I do agree with that. But at the same time, too, you know, I don't think he is. I think that's why he had to resort to using a banned substance. Let me give it a doc with PED is more effective, Austrian or clenbuterol. Which PED is more effective, Austrian? That I don't know. I can't answer that question. But from what the document, so I've read that clenbuterol is more effective when it comes to boxing. But I don't know for sure. But I've read that clenbuterol is. Yeah, so but I don't know for sure. And if you're asking that in regards to Canelo, yeah, Canelo, I call him a cheater too. But what did Canelo do? Same with Alicia Bumgarner. What did they both do? They both went to court and proved their innocence. So I'm not saying that. I would never say that they didn't cheat because it was in their system. But you got to understand, too, that Canelo didn't have the PED in the system during the night of the fight. Neither did Alicia Bumgarner. That's why their wins weren't impacted by the banned substance that was in their system. Canelo had it in his system months prior to the fight that happened in September. I think he got caught with it in March. His fight didn't happen till September, his second fight with Triple G. Alicia Bumgarner, some of her tests came back positive some days before the fight, but the night of the fight, when she took another test, it wasn't in her system. Hence why she also didn't get her decision overturned. So a lot of people make those correlations just because they cheated. No, them having a banned substance in their system is the only correlation that they have with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia tested positive the night of the fight, which is why I knew it was going to be overturned, and it was. So now, which one is more impactful? Which one is more significant? Which one assists more? I don't know. You know, I didn't look into. I mean, I did look into it a little bit, and like I said, I've seen clenbuterol is, but I'm not certain on that. It's nothing I would stand on. But I did see the clenbuterol is more effective when it comes to being beneficial in cheating. But however, like I said, the difference between, also another difference is that Ryan Garcia, he copped a plea. He pleaded out. He had a settlement, right? Alicia Bumgarner, she was so confident that it was in her system unbeknownst to her and unintentionally, and she made a mistake. She went to court and they proved that. Same with Canelo, he proved that. So yeah, I got to give more. You know what I'm saying? Just because you didn't go to court is not an admission of guilt, but it definitely doesn't mean you're innocent. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't go to court, it does not necessarily mean that you're definitively guilty, but it definitely doesn't mean you're innocent either. But when you go to court, you know, sometimes mistakes can happen. Maybe I could drink this water and, you know, it could have PED in it. Does that mean that I didn't have it in my system? No, it's in my system, but it means that I probably didn't do it on purpose, you know, and that's what cheating is according to boxing. You know, it's not how did it get in your system? It's not did it get in your system intentionally? Did it get in your system accidentally? The fact that it's present means that you cheated. Ignorance is not an excuse. Being negligent is not an excuse, or being oblivious is not an excuse for them to say, oh, you didn't cheat. No, it's the fact that it's present. So, you know, so Canelo and Alicia Bumgarner are guilty of having it in their system. But, you know, I think it looks a little better that they prove their innocence, like we claim. Now, if you want to disagree with the judicial system, or you want to say it's a conspiracy there, I don't really, you know, that's another story. That's a possibility too. But I don't make it my business to conspire. If you take it to court and they say that you're guilty or innocent, that's cool with me. When a fighter is weight drained, their punch resistance decreases. Devin had always fought well below his walk-around weight. Dev Fervin, I don't know who that is, Yoda. I don't know who FRVIN is, so therefore I don't know what you're talking about. I think you meant to say Devin, but I'm not sure. When a fighter is weight drained, their punch resistance decreases. Devin had always fought well below his walk-around weight. Right, I don't understand that point though. That's true though, I agree. But then he comes back at 168. That's why he gets called a weight bully. Right, exactly, Oscar. Yeah, Devin Haney is definitely, in my opinion, Devin Haney is a weight bully for sure. You're saying that his punch resistance decreases when he's weight drained. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the relevance is. I do agree with that. But when you blow back up like Oscar already articulated, then I don't understand the significance of that. They're not getting punched on at the weigh-in. All facts, Doc. Talk to him, Ray Davis. My boy Ray in the building. Ryan got eggshell defense. Yeah. Not the Philly shell. He got the eggshell. He got which PD? I read that already. Ryan has the best Philly shell. I'm telling you, they got the Dollar General shell. You said Devin was chinny. Oh, okay. So you're saying yeah, Devin is chinny. Yeah. So once again, so it looks like you're making, in my opinion, he's chinny. I mean, my boy Ray Davis doesn't agree that he's chinny, but I definitely think he's chinny. Jorge Linares proved that. Lomachenko's not a big puncher. He stunned him. And Ryan Garcia, I don't think Ryan Garcia counts, but you know that's what I anticipated to happen. But Ryan Garcia doesn't count because he cheated, so I can't use that as an example. But I'm using that as an example to justify why I put money on Ryan Garcia and why I won money off Ryan Garcia and what transpired in the ring, even though it didn't result in a win and it shouldn't count. So no contest, right? That's the definition. But to say that if you're saying that he can't take a punch because he's weight drained, well, who told him to weight drain? Who's forcing him to stay at 140 or whatever, or anybody, not just Devin Haney. Who's forcing? Frank Martin was weight drained at 135. Who told him to fight at 135? Go to 140. Janibek was weight drained, and the fight had to get canceled against Andre Mikhailovich, who told him to fight at 160, move up to 168. So you're saying that, yes, there's pros and cons to every action. You know what I'm talking about? If I drink this water, hopefully I'll no longer be thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So there's an action and a reaction with everything. That's not an excuse, and I can't say that he's not I can't say that him not having punch resistance is something that comes with the territory. I mean, yeah, that comes with the choices that he made. Maybe his punch resistance was down, but there's a reaction to every action, right? Every action has an equal or opposite reaction, you know. And another reaction, which I think Devin Haney takes advantage of, is the fact that he's much bigger than his opponent as Regis Prograis. So that's a positive about gaining weight and fighting at a lower weight than you are than you what you want to say your natural weight or whatever. So there's pros too, and for Devin Haney, obviously the pros outweigh the cons. And if you want to say a con is that he has lower punch resistance, I mean, that's his choice. He also has a bigger size. Pause. He said, yo, you finna get dragged. I'm not going to drag him, Smoochie. I'm not going to drag him. But yeah, I mean, everything, you know, everything has a reaction. Fight back, Yoda, you got this. No, I mean, I just don't understand that point. Like, yeah, I mean, your punch resistance goes down, but you're not fighting at the weigh-in. He made it seem like, oh, yeah, I'm weight drained, and we're fighting right then. Frank Martin and didn't get punched on at the weigh-in. He had time to rehydrate, which I don't like. Me personally, I would take it back to the old school times, you know what I'm saying? And you got to do a weigh-in the night of the fight. But we know that'll cancel a lot of events, and you know, a lot of money is dependent on the success of the event, and you know, people value money more than the welfare of the fighters. So yeah, I think that they should also be, that's why I like the IBF. I think there should also be a weight limit. You know, they don't have a weight limit, but they do, but it's not. So what they do, IBF, you cannot surpass a 10-pound threshold at the second weigh-in, which is the morning of the fight. But then after that, you could rehydrate again. Man, like I said, I'm an advocate for having a weight scale as you walking into the ring. And if you're 10, I'll say maybe 12 pounds more than the limit for the weight class that you're fighting at, fight is canceled. Now, that weight bullying junk is David Benavidez is also a weight bully. Now, the difference between David Benavidez and Janabek, who got his fight canceled, and Virgil Ortiz, who missed weight. Shout out to Devin Haney. Devin Haney is a consummate professional. Devin Haney always makes weight, and then he blows up. So I don't blame Devin Haney, but I think sometimes when people talk about topics, people impose or project their own feelings. Like, maybe you like Devin Haney, but I'm not knocking Devin Haney for being weight. That's in his contract. Step your lawyer game up. If you're Regis Prograis and you don't like the fact that he blew up to a damn near super middleweight, he was like 165, 3 pounds away from Canelo. If you don't like that, put it in your contract. You know what I'm saying? Step your negotiation game up, man. We're all grown here. They're definitely grown. They're millionaires. They got people that they could delegate to handle certain situations, and you can't get mad after the fact. So it's the same thing when people say that Ryan Garcia was weight drained against Tank. Hey, he chose to fight at 135. In fact, I could say the opposite. I could say that Tank Davis gave Ryan Garcia an extra provision by giving him an extra pound to fight at 136. That's your choice. You want to use your size to an advantage. So when people say this weight drain stuff, like somebody's a victim because they're weight drained, that's what they decided to do. No one told your big fat ass to go and try to squeeze in them little ass jeans. You did that. Now you want to talk about your cheeks hurt, your thighs hurt, your thigh meat sore, you got rashes, and you got bumps and bruises. You did that. Ain't nobody tell your fat ass to try to fit in them skinny jeans, trying to keep up with keep up with the Kardashians. You better lock in. You can't blame nobody else. So Janabek, when Janabek weighs 160 and he falls out from fainting, trying to cut weight so much because he's scared or hesitant to go up to 168, and he wants to be so much bigger than his opponents, who should feel bad for him? And now he's over here mad, talking about Top Rank, Top Rank dropped his purse bid. They didn't win the purse bid, and he's mad. Well, guess what? They won the first purse bid, because the first fight was supposed to be on ESPN. Now the second one, maybe they're trying to teach you a lesson. So no, he should have got stripped, in my opinion. I think that joke is trash. Didn't take Davis weight drain Ryan. That's crazy. I just said that. Cito. Yeah, no, I don't consider that weight drain. Everybody says weight drain. No, they chose to fight at 135. No one forced Ryan. Did anybody force Ryan to fight at 140? Did anybody force Ryan to have Osterine in the system? Did anybody force Ryan to fight at 135? I never, like, this notion that people are forced or weight drain. I can't weight drain you. You have to agree to fight at 135. If your big fat chunky ass can't make the weight, don't fight at that weight division. To me, it's crazy how people make these concessions for fighters that they like, and then not the same for ones that they don't like. Like I don't understand. I never understood that, bro. Like, people say that people somehow make rehydration clauses bad. I don't really like them, but I understand them. They're in there, so Devin Haney won't come in 28 pounds greater than the weight limit, like he did against Regis Prograis. They're in there, so David Benavidez doesn't come in 30 pounds above the weight limit like he did against Demetrius Andre, because they said that he came in at 198 for a fight at 168. I like David Benavidez. I like El Monstro. Do I feel bad for Andre? No, he signed up for that. But I don't want to hear that, oh, after the fact, because Dave Benavidez won, oh, he weight bullied Andre. No, he is a weight bully, but that's not an excuse why you lost. If you thought that was why you were going to lose, put it in your contract. Or be cool with the money that you got and the reservations that you made or didn't make, or the concessions that you gave up. I am not fat shaming. I'm just giving examples. I am not fat shaming. Yo, Smoochie said Yoda, that's crazy. Don't do my boy Yoda like that. Yoda cool. I just disagree with that. I don't think that it's nobody's responsible. No one told you to try it. But I'm gonna be honest, man. It's so funny to me. To me, that's a form of cowardice. Like Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz is not the same as Devin Haney, because Virgil Ortiz, he habitually missed weight. You know what I'm saying? Came in overweight. Devin Haney, I always give him the respect that he's a consummate professional. He makes weight and then he blows up because there's no limitation on how much he could blow up. So he takes advantage of the situation. You can't hate the player, hate the game. And when you have direct influence on the game, or you have the opportunity to influence the game, like putting in a 15-pound a weight limit, or saying that you can't blow up past this certain threshold to ensure that we are close on an even playing field. If you don't do that, then that's on you. I mean, boxing, everybody watch boxing, man. Y'all know that everything can be negotiated, from the gosh dang ring size to the shoe color that you walk in with. You know, anything can be negotiated, bro. So negotiate that. I definitely don't want to hear in hindsight or retrospect that somebody weight bullied you or somebody weight drained you. I don't want to hear that. You signed up for the fight. It didn't catch you off guard. It's not like you didn't know this. Come on, man. And if what they also say, Ryan Garcia is the cash cow, right? So if he's really the cash cow, and he's the one that made Tank sell the most, and he's the one that made Devin sell the most, then why is he capitulating so much? He's the cash cow, right? That's what everybody says, which is another farcity, because the last time I checked, Oscar Duarte and Ryan Garcia didn't sell much. Javier Fortuna and Ryan Garcia didn't sell much. It's just funny that people conveniently give up stats. Like, the only time Ryan Garcia sold a lot was against who? A juggernaut in Tank, and the youngest undisputed champion in four-belt era in Devin Haney. So who's really the cash cow or who's not? I mean, I don't know. But like I said, I don't really care about the money stuff. But I just care about the false narratives being pushed. I think Ryan Garcia is definitely an attraction. I definitely think he's a star. But some people make it seem like, oh, Devin Haney only sold to Ryan Garcia. Tank only sold Ryan Garcia. Well, Ryan Garcia only sold with Tank and Devin Haney. And to me, Tank is the only one that sold on his own with anybody he fought. So it's just funny. But he did make the most with each other, of course. I am not fat shaming, my bad. Devin definitely depends on the size event. If someone clip footage of him telling multiple points or two, thank you, B-Dog. Like, why do people act like they don't know this? Like, and so it seems like, I know if you like Devin Haney and you hear me discuss these things, it's gonna sound like I'm knocking Devin Haney. I'm actually applauding him, and I'm not knocking him. I'm just telling the truth. He comes in, he takes advantage of his size disparity. He does it all the time. So does Dave Benavidez. I like them both. I like Dave Benavidez way more than I like Devin Haney, but I like them both. You know, so that has nothing. I mean, it's the Ryan Garcia. People say, oh, he was weight drained against Tank. Well, he signed up for that. He really got an advantage because he got an extra pound. You see what I'm saying? So he made a concession in favor of Ryan Garcia to fight at 136. You fight at 135, make 135. If you can't, then move on. To me, like I said, it's a form of cowardice when if you're weight draining yourself to the point where you're falling out and potentially putting the fight at jeopardy because you are so worried about having a significant size advantage that you are dang near killing yourself trying to make a weight that you know you don't belong at. So you tell me who's the one that's really cheating? The person that's putting the limitation, the rehydration clause, or the weight rehydration limit, or the person that is trying to squeeze they size 15 shoe in a size 8 shoe trying to look cute for the night of the prom. That's basically what it is. They trying to, and then when they come out, they got all types of bunions and all types of cuts and corns, and then you feel sorry for them. Why do you feel sorry for them? So Janet Beck, who fell out, I did my best to try to, well, I didn't do my best, but I did look around, and I was like, man, maybe Janet Beck had some type of issue. Maybe he had food poisoning or something. No, everything I seen said that he fainted and fell out, all due to dehydration from him trying to make weight at 160. But then people are saying, oh, well, Bob Arum did him dirty and Top Rank did him dirty because they lost the purse bid. Well, they won the first purse bid. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, if I was on the station body, I'd have stripped him. I'd have straight stripped him. He would not be a belt holder. That's shameful. That's shameful, bro. So that weight, when you trying to squeeze into a weight, you're weight draining yourself. And he weight drained himself so bad that the fight got canceled. Ryan could have made 135, rehydrated to whatever he wanted, but he wanted to catch weight. Talk to him, B-Dog. Talk to him, B-Dog. So yeah, I'm not knocking anybody who thinks anything. I'm just telling you what I know. And if you agree, it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to agree. But I'm definitely not knocking anybody who does a weight. I'm not. I like Rougarou. I like Regis Prograis, but I'm not like, oh, Devin Haney did Regis Prograis wrong. No, I don't think he did him wrong at all. Like, don't hate the player, hate the game, man. Tighten up with your lawyers. If you didn't want somebody to come in at 168 or 165, 25 pounds past the weight limit of 140 that you're supposed to fight at, put that in your contract. We are grown, man. We are grown. You grown and rich too, so you lock in. What they said? You paid some money for the lawyer. Well, you should have paid extra $100 and got the good lawyer. So Ryan is a weight bully too, then, right? Absolutely. He weight bullied Devin Haney. Absolutely, Kendrick. Exactly. So thank you, Kendrick. We talking about like Ryan Garcia didn't miss weight against Oscar Duarte. He came in, I believe, 3 pounds heavier against Oscar Duarte as well, and he weight bullied the weight bully. So it was funny. I'm cool with it because they both weight bullied, but Ryan Garcia weight bullied the weight bully by not even being a professional and coming in overweight from jump, and that really put him ahead. Because that's what I'm gonna be honest with you. You never heard me say that Ryan cheated in regards to weight, because I don't think coming in overweight. I don't think rehydrating excessively is cheating. That's in the confines of boxing, right? That's in the. I don't even think missing weight is cheating. We've seen that happen before. If the fight goes on, it goes on. But when you do something that's unaccounted for, like having PEDs in your system, that's cheating. So, but with Ryan Garcia, this is another thing that I also said. You go back and look it up. It's in the archives. I said that Devin Haney won't be able to weight bully Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia is likely to come in even bigger than Devin Haney. And sure enough, not only did he come in bigger, he hedged his bets by not even going through the formality of making weight. You know what I'm saying? So he used that to his advantage. He said, I'm not even going to try to get down the extra 3 pounds. I'm just going to start from here and then boom up again. So Devin Haney is also booming up, but he's booming up from lower, and he struggled to get there. Obviously, why he looks like the Crypt Keeper when he goes up to weigh in. You can see his whole exoskeleton, while he's trying to weigh in because he's draining himself so bad. So is Boots a weight bully? No. Show me when Boots didn't make weight. Show me when Boots doesn't make weight. Boots is also a consummate professional, just like Devin Haney. But okay, so when you're saying is he a weight bully, you're talking about his natural weight. I've never seen. Now I could be wrong, but I don't think Boots blows up to I don't think he fights at 147. What does he come in at? So I think you're confusing your walk around weight with what you fight at. That your walk around weight and what you fight at weight is not the same thing. I think that's a common misconception amongst boxing fans. They say, "Oh, your natural weight." When you're an athlete, bro, I don't know if you ever played sports, Yoda. I'm gonna assume that you did. So when you play sports, right? Whether you play basketball, football, track, boxing, or otherwise, like I said, if you could show me if Ryan Garcia, if Boots Ennis comes in 25 pounds more than the weight limit that he's fighting at, then I would say he's a weight bully too. Yes, but I haven't seen that, so I don't. So I would say no, but I don't know for sure. But I do know. What I do know is that he walks around at like 180, 190 or something like that. That's what people say, right? That doesn't matter. Ricky Hatton, his nickname is Ricky Fatton because he walked around at 210, but he could comfortably make 140. So when he's at 210, which is look it up. They call him Ricky Fatton. When he's not fighting, he's heavy because he's drinking and stuff. But once he gets in shape, then his weight cut to 140 or 147 is easier. So what I'm saying is that just because you walk around at Costco or you walk around at Walmart or you walk around the neighborhood with your dogs or you go to church, that's your natural weight because you're out of shape. So what we should start calling it is not natural weight. We should call that out of shape weight, because whether you're playing basketball, football, track, or otherwise, even hockey, your out of shape weight is different than when you get in shape, right? That's why they call it in shape, right? When athletes get in shape, when you get in shape, you usually lose weight, right or wrong. So then, to me, your in shape weight is your natural weight because you're an athlete. So you should be in athletic shape, which means that you should be in shape. And that would be your natural, what we call natural weight, which is what we should call natural weight, not your out of shape weight. So then once you're at your natural weight, whatever you do to decrease to make your weight limit, that's your weight cut. Your weight cut is not getting in shape. That just comes with getting in shape. But your weight cut is when you try to get as far as you can to make the threshold that you're fighting at. For example, like if Gervonta Tank Davis, let's say he's at hypothetically, let's say he's at 155 right now. He might be in pretty good shape at 155. You know, he might be straight. But then I have no doubt with him being 5'5" that if he gets in shape, full boxing shape from working out and stuff like that, without worrying about diet, without worrying about going to the sauna, putting on a trash bag, and doing all those things to lose extra weight, so without doing those things, I bet you that he probably walks around at like 140, 144, 145 or something like that. And then from there on, he tries to lose that extra 10 pounds to make his weight limit. And he still looks functional when he does. Look at him compared to Frank Martin. Look at him at the weigh-in compared to Frank Martin. Look at Subaru Matias and Liam Parra when they weighed in compared to Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Look at Devin Haney at the weigh-in to Ryan Garcia, or look at Devin Haney at the weigh-in against Kambosos, or look at Devin Haney at the weigh-in against Lomachenko, and then look at Subaru Matias and Liam Parra at their weigh-in when they both make 140. Neither one of them are falling out or need a cane. So I've never seen Jerron Boots in look like he needs a cane to walk. You know what I'm saying? But I have seen him a little weaker. But I've never seen him with a scarf on and a hood. Boots comes in the ring at 165, 170. Okay, so he comes in at 165, right? We just told you Devin Haney came in at 165. He fights at 140. He came in at the same size as Boots. According to you, I don't know. I need documentation because I haven't seen this. I'm just going off of you. Let's say Boots does come in at 165. He fights at 147. That's 18 pounds, bro. That's 18 pounds. So him and Devin Haney came in at 165. Devin Haney fights at 140. Come on, you just said it. So right there, it's a more extreme weight for Devin Haney. You just said it. I thought Boots would be around. I thought Boots would be around the same way too, but I don't know. You got to if he says 165, I'll take his word for it. I have not seen that. But I'll be honest, I have not looked for it either. Why did you even pull Boots' name into the scenario? What? Oh Lord, Smoochie don't shoot him, Smoochie. I mean, if we keep it 100, we look in between the lines. Every fighter is weight drained and a bully. Kind of got a point, Oscar. Does Tank come in heavier than his 135? No, it's not about, okay, but that's the thing though. That's the thing. I don't think being over 135 is weight bullying. When you're excessively over, everybody comes in a little heavier. That's, if you watch boxing, which I know y'all do, you know that. Is Floyd Mayweather a weight bully? Do you think when he comes in at 147 that he on fight night he's 147? He's probably like 150. He's not much more heavier, but he is a little heavier. So that's a case on the lower end of the spectrum. Let's go to the higher end of the spectrum. David Benavidez or Devin Haney, they come in about 25, surpass the weight limit on fight night. That's weight bullying to me, in my opinion. It's not just the act of being a little heavier. Of course, that's, you know, you're gonna do that because you are trying to make weight. Kind of got a point. I think Yoda is casual and new. It's okay. We gonna learn some things. When I wrestled in high school and college, I wrestled 10 pounds under my weight. Exactly. Not too bad of a way. Exactly. They would make us weigh in the day. Exactly. That's my point, Cito. When I box, bro, I walk around at 150. I don't know what I am right now. Let's just say 154, a junior middleweight. When I boxed at 140. I never, don't get me wrong, weight cut was tough. But it wasn't like I didn't have to get Ozempic. I didn't have to get any type of diuretic. I didn't have to. I did pay attention to what I ate. You know, I ate small portions. I ate egg whites, but nothing extreme. I wasn't eating like a valley girl, like a valley girl model. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't bulimic or throwing up or nothing like that. I wasn't eating just celery and carrots. You know, I wouldn't do that to myself. So, but I did eat egg whites. I ate more beans. I ate more, you know, proteins and stuff like that, and lighter weight foods in smaller portions. And then I just did my normal workout. I just watched what I ate, and then I did go to the sauna a couple times to make my 140, but I didn't feel like I couldn't move, or I didn't feel like I needed help walking upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Now, to each his own. If you do that, that's fine. But then you can't turn around and say you're weight drained because someone doesn't let you do that. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I agree with you, Cito. So let me ask you this, Cito. Is your natural weight the same as your in shape weight when you wrestle? You said I wrestled 10 pounds under my walking around weight. So he said not too bad of a weight cut. That's not too bad of a weight cut. They make us weigh in the day of the match, right? So I don't know. You sound like you stay in shape, right? You like I feel like I stay in shape I just stay in shape, you know. That's what I like. But if I don't stay in shape, please believe you'll see it in my body definition or lack of. You'll see it because I'll weigh a little more. But once I get in shape, you lose by getting in. The act of getting in shape, by nature, by default, by definition, is losing weight. It does that naturally. Now, everything you do extra, like your diet, like if you're taking extra stuff like pills and diuretics, like if you're restricting your diet, like if you're going to the sauna, like if you're wearing a trash bag, all that is extra to make the weight cut. To me, getting in shape is not part of weight cutting. That's just getting in shape to be an active fighter or whatever you're doing. But like I said, that's why I brought up other sports, whether you're doing track or whether you're doing tennis or basketball. The act of getting in shape is preparing for the sport as an athlete. That's your athletic duty to operate, to be fully functional. You know, that's just to make sure your endurance is up at all. That's not, to me, that's not weight cutting. You do lose weight in the process of getting in shape, but the process of weight cutting does stuff that a lot of times has nothing to do with exercise. You know, sometimes you can run, but you don't have to run with the trash bag. So you put in the trash bag on you. That's part of the weight cut process. You go into a sauna, part of the weight cut process. You hiring a dietitian and restricting your diet, part of the weight cut process. You taking a diuretic, part of the weight cut process, if that's what you're doing. Working out and getting in shape is not for weight cutting, man. You naturally lose weight while you're getting in shape. But getting in shape that's a common misconception, bro. Every time you get in shape, you're not weight cutting. I never had to weight cut to play basketball, but I had to get in shape to play basketball, and naturally I'll lose weight. Those are two different things. A lot of times we just put them together. When I wrestled, I read that already. I ate 3 rices and a green bean for you. Know what I'm talking about? I'm not going. I'll just go somewhere. I'll just move up. I fought at 140 because it was as low as I could get comfortably. And you know what I'm saying? I never tried to go to 135. I wouldn't. And even 140, when I initially did it, you know, because I'm 5'11", so I'm tall for that weight. So I was like, man, I thought I'd go at 147. And my coach is the one that told me, hey, man, try to get to 140. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, when I spar, I told y'all sparring stories when I sparred. It was a light spar, but Tavares Cloud, who's a former champion at light heavyweight, Tavares Thundercloud. I sparred heavyweight because I'm big. You know, I'm like their size a lot of times, or close to it. I've been there most when I'm sparring. I'm mostly sparring bigger guys because I look like a middleweight, but I'm not. Even the majority of guys that are way smaller than me that are way smaller than me still weigh a lot more than me. Okay, so we got a look, chat. Remember what I just told y'all about the speculation? I just dropped a video and I talked about the speculation, right? About the November 2nd date. According to Michael Benson, Gervonta Davis's next fight is reportedly now being eyed for November 23rd or December 14th, and an opponent to be announced. Opponent to be determined. Come on now. We said it, bro. We said that it's all speculation, man. We the November 2nd date looked good, but you never know, man. Boxing moves with fluidity, man. Your trainer was trying to have you skeletal. Yeah. But he was right though, because when I first started boxing, I didn't understand that part of boxing. You know what I'm saying? I was just boxing. Like, first of all, I got into it recreationally, just because I'm in high school. I was used to playing sports. I played basketball, football, ran track, and you know, I did a lot of extracurricular stuff. So when I got to college, I was purely academic. You know, I'm on my academic scholarship, and so I needed an outlet, and so I just went to boxing. And then he thought that I was good enough to compete. So I didn't go in there with any ambitions to compete or be a boxer. I just went there to stay in shape, and I like boxing, and it was a good way for me to, you know, I like to fight and stuff like that. So it was a good way for me to burn energy and just a physical outlet and get off frustration. And he was the one that suggested. I was like, okay, bet. So, you know, I knew I naturally weighed 150, you know, 149. So I was like, bet, I'm gonna fight at 147. He was like, no. He's like, no, you're gonna fight at 140. And I was like, you think I can make that? He was like, yeah. And then I did it, and it wasn't too bad. Like I thought it was bad while you're going through it. But then when I see like what people are doing, you know, taking diuretics, and I never had to do that. Like, I watched what I ate, but some people that were in the gym that were boxing before me, some of the stuff that they said they were doing, I said, bro, you're wilding. People out there chewing gum to lose weight, had a spit bucket to lose weight, drinking. I drunk water to stay hydrated, but they were drinking water just to pee and all this stuff to force themselves to pee every 2 minutes. Man, you wilding. I ain't got time, man. Out here eating carrots and and string beans. I ain't got time. Don't get me wrong. I did watch what I ate and check the portion sizes. You sleep. Nah, damn, there ain't anything except the pum pum. You know what I'm talking about? How does your body feel cutting to your fighting weight? Do you feel stronger and lighter on your feet? I do feel lighter. I wouldn't say I feel stronger. I do feel like I feel like it's like when you get in shape at all, you know, and you feel stronger, right? But when I get down to 140, I felt like everything felt kind of tight. You know, like it's like I felt like sometimes you feel like, I ain't gonna say not as drastic as constantly flexing, but everything, because you know your BMI is low, your body mass index, or your what it calls low, and then your fat levels are dropped, right? So you have a low percentage of body fat, so everything just feels like you feel strong because you feel like defined, I guess, like you actually feel defined even as much as you look. My boy Regis always came in the ring over the percentages, but he got outweighed by someone close because Devin knew this. But now he is a weight bully because he is a weight bully. Yeah, so when I say the weight bully, I know that it's a negative connotation, and I think it is. It should be negative, right, Ray? So, but I think when people hear me say it, or they hear, because they're so used to most people saying, oh, you're saying it like you're cheating. You never heard me say the weight bullying is cheating. Because that's not outside the confines of boxing. It's not outside the realm of boxing. Floyd Mayweather is one of my favorite fighters, is my favorite fighter ever. He weight bullied Juan Manuel Marquez. He came in 2 pounds overweight. I have no shame in saying that. So like that's why I say, man, shout out to my boy Yoda. I hope you're not offended or nothing like that. I know I get kind of passionate and intense when I talk, but that's just me. That's just Jamaican and Nigerian and American in me. I don't mean no offense. So I'm not like yelling at you or nothing or talking down to you or being condescending. So my bad if it comes off like that. But I'm saying, like, when you when we're discussing these things, I know the perception is when somebody says a weight bullying, they're implying cheating. No, I don't think you never heard me say Ryan Garcia cheated Devin Haney from coming in overweight. You never heard me say Devin Haney cheated Regis Prograis or David Benavidez cheated, what's the name? That's not outside the confines of boxing. That's just using the game to your advantage. And guess what? When you come in overweight, you get fined. They have provisions for that, right? There's reprimands for that, right? You either get disqualified for the belt you were initially competed for, or you pay an extra fine for the pounds, or the match gets canceled. And for Ryan Garcia, he did two of those three things. He paid a fine, and he was disqualified from competing for the belt, but he wasn't disqualified from fighting. So once you're in the fight, everything's a go, unless you do something that was unaccounted for, that's outside the scope of boxing, which is bringing in a banned substance, which is what he did. So that's cheating. But no, weight bullying is not cheating. That's you gotta lock in. He said 5'4", 5'11", 140 is borderline anorexic. I mean, it depends on your weight, your body type. You don't know my body type. So yeah, you could think that. Yeah, it sounds like it. But do you not know? Right, exactly. Fundora, I think Smoochie, you did even better than me because you stayed at 154. Do you not see Fundora, who's 6'5", 6'6"? But Smoochie did better than me. I was gonna say El Divino Espinosa, Rafael Espinosa, 6'1". He fights at 126. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Yoda, man, you my guy. But it seems like Smoochie was right. Smoochie made a very early and initial assessment, and you know what her assessment was? She said, "You may not know boxing. You may be a casual, and you may be a casual, bro. I ain't gonna lie." Espinosa is 6'1" at 126, but you don't believe 5'11" at 140? Ray Vargas is 5'11", just like me. He also fights at 126. He's a champion right now. Everybody's body type is different, man. Yeah, so 5'11", I agree with you. 5'11" at 140 does sound, it could be anorexic, but you know, like let me give you another example, like Deontay Wilder, right? Deontay Wilder was tall, but he weighed low, right? He didn't weigh as much as like Tyson Fury, obviously. He's not a sloppy body, but a lot of guys that are smaller than Deontay Wilder weighed more than him, right? Because what? Look at his legs. His legs were very skinny. I'll go to basketball if you're familiar with basketball. Tracy McGrady. What does everybody know about Tracy McGrady? He's small forward, he's big, but his legs are very skinny. I have a similar body type. My legs, they call me chicken legs. So I have skinny legs. I might have a big upper body, but because I work out and stuff like that, and I run a lot, but I naturally have slim legs. So that a lot of my lack of weight rather comes from the lack of fullness in my legs. So everybody's body type is different. That's why you got to do what's best for you. Yeah, Fundora is freaking 6'7". Yeah, Brandon Figueroa is tall. Yeah, Brandon Figueroa, isn't he like 5'9", 5'10"? I don't know if he's that tall, but yeah, I think he's like 5'9", if I'm not mistaken. Brandon Figueroa, I think he's like 5'9". 5'8". Sorry, so yeah, 5'8". So I was 1 inch off according to Wikipedia. He's 5'8". Okay, no. So Wikipedia says he's 5. So I was right. Okay, so it depends on what you want to believe. Wikipedia says 5'8". I'll show y'all. Wikipedia says 5'8", and then BoxerX says 5'9". I knew I seen 5'9". So Brandon Figueroa 5'9". The man fights at 126, bro. So he's 2 inches shorter than me. Fights at 14 pounds less than me. Come on, bro. I mean, I don't fight anymore. I'm not me. I don't fight. You know. So that said 5'8", but Wikipedia says 5'8". Wikipedia says 5'8". BoxerX says 5'9". So yeah, that's not abnormal, bro. Marquez weighed in at 142 and Mayweather weighed in at what? Talk to him, truth. All those guys are constantly canceling dates. How many dates did Fundora just cancel? Fundora didn't cancel any dates. Yeah, Yoda, you gotta. Yoda, man. Yoda, bro. Come on, bro. Fedora didn't cancel any dates.
You dumbass.
It's Errol Spence, bro. What Oscar said, Yoda, that was because Errol Spence, though. Exactly. What?
Yeah.
Bro, like I'm gonna tell you why it's a terrible example. Let's forget about Errol Spence, right? Do you know how Errol Spence? Do you know how Fundora got the belt from Tim Tszyu? Do you know how that happened? How he got into the fight? Sorry. Do you know how Fundora got the opportunity to fight Tim Tszyu? You know he was a late replacement, right? Emphasis on the late. That's why people were mad that he came off his first loss and a knockout loss to Brian Mendoza and got an opportunity for a title shot. But it was circumstantial. It was circumstantial because Keith Thurman was injured. He had to pull out. But my point of saying that is that Fundora, as a late replacement, was ready to fight then. So if you're telling me that you think somebody who was ready to fight within like a 2 weeks notice to be a replacement in a fight he had no intention of fighting, nobody was anticipating him fighting. He was ready to fight then, but you think he's not ready to fight now? Come on, bro. It's not Fundora, bro. It's Spence. Come on, man. Lock in, Yoda. Do your thing though. Stand on what you believe. Though. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Because you could be right. Maybe it is Fundora's fault. Marquez weighed in. Yep, read that already. Facts. Yoda was. Yep, I read that. Brandon Figueroa is 5'9". Yeah, I agree, Ray. I think he's 5'9" as well. I agree. I think Wikipedia may be slightly off, but you know it's like Devin Haney. Sometimes I see Devin Haney 5'10". I see him 5'8". I seen him as low as 5'8". I see him as high as 5'10". Hold on, my mama texted me. Give me a second. I'm going to read this for y'all, man. My mom will be sending me daily inspirations. So I'm going to read this to y'all. God says, remember these 4 things. I will make a way for you. I am fighting your battles. Prayer is the best medicine. Trust my timing. Amen. Shout out to my mama, man. It's part of my routine. He said, I find joy in every day, not because life is always good, but because God is. Amen. God is so good to me. Even on my worst days, I still see his blessing. Good morning. Matter of fact, I didn't read my daily scripture today. I'm tripping. Chat, y'all want to read a Bible verse? Let's read a Bible verse real quick. I forgot to read my Bible verses. That's my morning routine. I say my prayers in my head. I kneel down and say my prayers afterwards. And then I read my daily scriptures. And then my mama send me in my app. And then I read a scripture from the Bible. Let's read a scripture from the Bible real quick. Don't worry, chat. We're going to do a short one. We ain't gonna be up here like TD Jakes or Joel Osteen. Shout out to them though. All right, let's go to Psalm 11. I trust in the Lord for protection. So why do you say to me, fly to the mountains for safety? The wicked are stringing their bows and setting their arrows in the bowstrings. They shoot from the shadows at those who do right. They shoot from the shadows at those who do right. So remember, if you're doing something right and you feel like you're being persecuted, quantity does not make quality. Because people attack what's right these days. Let's see. They shoot from the shadows at those who do right. The foundations of law and order have collapsed. What can the righteous do? But the Lord in his holy temple, the Lord still rules from heaven. He watches everything closely, examining everyone on earth. The Lord examines both the righteous and the wicked. He hates everyone who loves violence. He rains down blazing coals on the wicked, punishing them with burning sulfur and scorching winds. For the Lord is righteous and he loves justice. Those who do what is right will see his face. Amen. Psalm 11. So just do what's right. Even when people aren't looking, just do what's right. Oh, also too, you know, that just remind me of doing right. Do y'all know about the shopping cart theory? Nello is 5'7" and 6. Yeah, Nello's and been all the way to 175. Yeah, this is a bad matchup. Nakatani is 5'9". Hey, Nakatani's my guy. That's one of my favorite fighters right now. Talk to him, Truth. Talk to him, Truth. Nakatani gonna come in dropping bombs. I'm telling you, bro. He gonna exterminate the gosh dang Inoue's, man. Takuma Inoue, Naya Inoue, and Koki Inoue. You know what I'm talking about? They all gonna get that pressure. Now that'd be a lit truth teller. I heard Boachuk versus Badger. I was on cracking under the Fury belt. Yeah, I said that. Yep. Yeah, I announced that. But it's speculated. It's not finalized. Yep. That happened a few days ago. We talked about that. Well, actually, Fandora was fighting for the WBC champion regardless, but they moved him into the main event with Zoo because one time pulled out. Exactly. Wait, you said he was fighting for the WBC. Are you sure about that? I don't think he was fighting for. Was he? Because the WBC. Who's the WBC champion? Nah. What's the name? Unless it was a regular championship, Ray. Because what's the name had both belts? Tim Tszyu had the WBC and WBO, right? Yeah, Tim Tszyu had the WBC and WBO. Unless you're saying he was fighting for an interim championship, maybe. But nah, Tim Tszyu had 2 belts. So if he wasn't fighting Tim Tszyu, and one of them was a WBC, if I'm not mistaken. That's why Sebastian Fandora is a WBC and WBO champion right now. Unless you're saying, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can explain. Yeah, but definitely put me on game if you know something, because I don't know about that. But yeah, Nakatani's like 5'8", 5'9", facts. But what I was gonna say too, are y'all familiar with the shopping cart theory? He said that's the best way to see it if you are righteous because nobody is watching. You put the cart back or leave it where it is. I think that's yeah. I did not know about that. Yes, he was fighting for a Bacon belt. That was a unified fight. So you're saying Tim Tszyu didn't have both belts? I thought Tim Tszyu had both belts, bro. Are you sure? So going into that fight, Tim Tszyu only had the WBO is what you're saying? That's crazy. Whole time I thought Tim Tszyu had the WBC and WBO. I appreciate that, bro. I thought he had both. Yep, yeah, it was for the vacant WBC. Yep, you're right. I could have sworn Tim Tszyu had WBO and WBC going into that fight. Okay, now you're right. Yeah, I see it. It says WBC super welterweight vacant or junior middleweight vacant belt. Yep. I appreciate that. Now I believe. I just saw. I believe you. I saw it. I just looked it up too. I saw it on Boxing Rec. I could have sworn Tim Tszyu had 2 belts going in. I'm tripping. But yeah. So the shopping cart. So yeah. So he was fighting. I know he was fighting still, but he was still a late replacement. You know what I'm saying? He could have turned it down and said, "Nah, I don't want." I mean, you're going to take it, especially coming off a loss. But because his last win was a knockout loss to Brian Mendoza. I knew he had a fight around that time, but I did not know it was for a vacant WBC. I thought Tim Tszyu had both the belts, so I was wrong about that. Appreciate it. Boxing Sealer for announcements. I believe I saw it too on Boxing Rec. Let's see, without looking at Google, if you guys are real boxing fans, what fighter has fought in the most divisions fighter that are fighting right now? Let me read that again. What fighter has fought in the most divisions out of all the fighters that are fighting right now without looking at Boxing Rec? I don't know. Terence Crawford has what, 5? I'm sure you're saying just fought, not won? Yeah, I don't know. Let's think of somebody who has fought in a lot of divisions. I know Jesse Bam Rodriguez has fought as a lot because he started at minimal weight, right? So I would say maybe Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He started at what? I think he started at 106 or something like that, 104, whatever the minimum weight is. And then he's all the way at 115 now. I think he fought at 118 one time before too. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I would say Bud, but I think we're thinking about success. Now he said Pac-Man would be. He said fighting right now, Yoda. So if he's talking about fighting right now, yeah, I would have went with Pacquiao as well. Pacquiao is an 8 division champion, but he said fighting right now. Pacquiao's not fighting right now, and he didn't really say that they had to be successful. He just said fought. I would say Bud too, but I would go with somebody that's small, like Bam or something like that, because you know some of those weight classes be 2 pound difference when you go low enough. But yeah, so Oscar said, yeah, the best way is if you are righteous because nobody is watching, you put the cart back or leave it where it is. I think that's how you're exactly right. You're exactly right, Oscar. So those of you unfamiliar with the shopping cart theory, I just learned about this like 2 days ago, bruh. It made me feel so good. And this is no knock on anybody that doesn't do it. But so the shopping cart theory is exactly what Oscar said. It's like a shopping cart, right? You could put it back in the proper place, or you could leave it where it's at, or you could put it in the grass or whatever. There's no penalty. There's no reward. Literally, if you put the cart back, you don't get a pat on your back. You don't get money. If you leave the cart where it's at in the parking spot or on the curb or just let it roll into somebody else's car, I mean, you might get your ass whipped, but there's no fine or nothing, no citation involved. So it's literally based on you just wanting to do the right thing because you're an altruistic, responsible civilian of wherever you live at. You know what I'm saying? And I just maybe, bro, I always put the carts back, bro. And I remember my girl at the time, she'd be like, just leave it. I'm like, no, I mean, I just put it back, you know, and be honest, the reason why I do it is because, number one, I would hate for a cart to go into my car. Number two, I would hate to be the cart be an inconvenience to somebody else. And number three, which is probably most important, I know that the people that work, they're walking around trying to pick up all those carts, which they're on the clock anyway, so it doesn't matter. Time is time. It's going to flow whether you're doing nothing or you're doing something. But I just be thinking like it's probably just so much easier if you just put it in the rack, and probably easier for them. So that's why I do it. But yeah, you don't have to do it. And it's basically just saying that you're just a good person. At least you have good intentions at your core. And I thought that was kind of cool. Just like a little psychology test. I was unfamiliar with it. And it just made me smile. I said, man, you know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you already know who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you're a lion, you're a lion. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to go kill a gazelle to prove you're a lion. You ain't got to roar to prove you're a lion. But sometimes it's good to get reminded that you're a lion. You know what I'm talking about? Or whatever you are. Whether you're a gazelle, a lion, a dog, a chipmunk, whatever you are. If you put your cart back, you saw. I already knew Smoochie. I promise you, without even saying nothing, I knew that Smoochie wouldn't do it. I could tell. so that doesn't surprise me at all. I could tell. I ain't gonna lie, Chad. Without anybody telling me, I promise you, as long as you're honest, I feel like I could probably tell you who in the chat does and does not put their cart back. And it's not a bad thing. It's up to you. Like I said, there's no penalty for it. There's no, and you could be a bad person and return your cart too. I'm not saying that it's 100%, you know, saying you're a good or bad person. Being a good or bad person isn't determined by something as minuscule as putting the shopping cart back. But I think it does say something about your nature at your core. It does say something, you know, but it's not how significant it is up to you and your person. But I feel like if everybody was honest, I feel like, and they were on a lie detector test or something, I feel like I could guess who does and who does not put their cart back. If you put your cart back, does the shopping cart guy need his job? Bro, hey Yoda, hey Yoda, I like you, bro. Hey Yoda, you funny as hell, bro. He said he said if you put your cart back, you taking somebody's job, bro. Come on, bro. Number one, you're wrong. The most obvious thing is that you're wrong. When you put your cart, you're funny though, I ain't gonna lie. When you put your cart back, you're not putting the cart back in the store. You put it in the rack, don't you? And who comes and retrieves the carts that are stacked up in the rack? The shopping cart guy or girl. So you're not taking you're just making it easier for them because they don't have to go and retrieve every random placed parking shopping cart. That's number one. So number one, you're wrong. Number two, I like how you try to make it seem like those that don't put the cart back is somehow boosting the economy by making jobs, bro. Hey, Yoda, you're a beast, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Yoda, you're a beast, bro. I like you, bro. That was good, man. I like that, bro. That was good. That was a good try. It was a good try. It wasn't good. It was a good try. Maybe you know, maybe if maybe in another stream or something that was a fluke. But that was good. That was good. I appreciate. I give you an A for effort. No, that was good. This man said he creating jobs. He leaving the cart out, so he creating jobs, man. Shout out to Yoda, man. Shout out to Yoda, man. Our boy said he don't put the cart back because he created jobs. The funny thing is, I always put it back. It just makes jokes. No, you don't. Me, I always put it back. I ain't gonna lie. I would guess that Kendrick would put it back. But I'd be thinking about what Yoda said too. Okay, get out. I ain't gonna lie. It was funny when Yoda said it, but now, you know what? Because you're a mod, I'm sorry, Kendrick. I'm sorry, Yoda, but because you're a mod, I would have kicked Kendrick out, but Kendrick is a mod and a member, and they're immune from getting kicked out. So since you posed the question, you got to assume the responsibility, man. Give him a 30-second timeout. You see, that's what nonsense does. Nonsense, you make more nonsensical people join the bandwagon. That's crazy. This man said, I said, I always put it back, but I be thinking about what Yoda said too. I'm gonna tell you why you be thinking what Yoda said. Cause quantity don't make quality. Both of y'all crazy. This man said, I be thinking about what Yoda said too. What? You know what, chat? This is what we gonna do. This is what we gonna do, chat. You know, we gonna start breaking the law to make sure that police still have jobs. Let's go do something. Let's make sure that policemen still have jobs. Let's go slap an old lady or something. Yeah, let's go do that. Just so we can be on the news and the police could pursue somebody and we can still make sure they have jobs. You know, keep the police workforce active. You know, let's go commit some crimes. That's crazy. Hey Ty, what's wrong with him? My boy Ty in the building. That's crazy, bro. No. Let's go crash our cars so we can make sure that that the dealerships and the car manufacturers don't ever lose their jobs. You know, let's go destroy some cars. That's crazy. This man said he don't put the carts back, so he can. Yo. Truthfully though, it depends on how far the rack is from where I'm parked. Nah, it don't matter though. Like I said, it's not a good. So I'm just reading to you the. It's like a psychological test, right? A behavioral test, really. A behavioral assessment test. You know, it's one of those things. It's not 100%. Like I said, it doesn't mean you're good or bad. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily lazy or active. But I do think it, just like for me, as somebody who does it all the time, it was positive reinforcement. You know what I'm saying? I go out my way to put, like, I literally, where I'm parked, I'll look for the racks and walk and bring it to the rack. Or I've done this before. I never just leave my cart in the spot. Like if there is no rack, sometimes there are places that don't have any racks, believe it or not. So I will sometimes I'll walk it back to the store, but sometimes I'll just put it on the grass too. You know, the grass will secure it there. So I'm not saying that I'm not demonizing anybody. I was just messing with Smoochie. Yeah. So I mean, it's all on where you. I mean, like I said, all good people don't do good things, right? Good people do some bad things, and bad people do some good things. But it's about the totality of everything you do. Hopefully a good person does a lot more good than bad. That's what I think. I always put my cart back because of all the reasons you said. Talk to him, Mike. That's what I mean. Come on, Mike. You know what time it is, bro. Real recognize real, man. You know what time it is. Shout out to Mike, man. Come on, bro. You know what it is, man. Come on, man. Real recognize real, man. You know what time it is, man. I'll be right back. Let me go grab some water. My throat dry. Pause. Hey, yo. I didn't grab the water, though.
No, did he?
Yo, it's your boy Doc again. I know you sitting there like, did this Doc just run his own commercial? Yes, I did. In the middle of the street, we run our own ads. That's what we do right here. So when you see other boxing channels implement the same idea, I don't mind people biting us, but dang, at least give us some credit. So those of you that are rocking with me, you're already a part of the best boxing channel on YouTube.
That's a fact, ain't it? Ain't it? All right, then.
You already caught up. Those that don't know, the rest of the world, they just got to catch up, baby. You know, and they eventually will, you know, because we bring y'all unfiltered, unbiased, raw, and educated and funny boxing takes, man, with accurate information. Can they all say the same? Of course they can. So let's get right to it, man. Why do you want to become a member of this channel? Because we already told you we're the best, but it does come along with perks, you know what I'm saying? First off, you can join at the STREETZ gang prospect level. You know, it's only $2.99. I know times is rough right now, but you can still contribute, you know what I'm saying? And what do you get? You get member shout outs like this. Shout out to my boy Kendrick for being the first Street Gang prospect member, you know what I'm saying? And then we go to the next one, STREETZ Gang contender. That's the second tier of membership level, you know, and it comes in at $4.99, and you get all the perks of the previous tier like this. Shout out to my boy Merle the Legend, who is our first member at the STREETZ Gang contender level. Big salute to him. And in addition to that, you get members only polls. You get to be involved in that, and you get to connect with me, your boy, on social media. And
Oh, what did Ty say? We saw that. I definitely didn't see it. What did Ty say? He retracted it too, so I can't even see it. What did Ty say? I know he was on demon time. Moving with, making some malevolent movements, nefarious actions, malicious intent. I did not see it, but yeah, I think that Like, but to be fair though, too, as small as that shopping cart example is, like I said, it just makes you think of things, right? But all jokes aside, so I do think it means something. I'm not saying it means everything. Excuse me, because there's ways to determine kindness. You know, it's not just one way, not just one action, not just one thought. But I will say this though. They do have behavioral scientists for a reason. People think that they're not aware because they're not aware of something that's not significant. Like I said, like even this computer that we're on, right? There's engineers that made it, or engineers that made the plane, and you have to worry about. Well, you don't think about it because if you're not in that field. But yeah, people that have to assess the plane and make repairs and try to mitigate issues and risks and reduce crack propagation in bridges, like we talked about, or even the light bulb. Like there's a science behind it. So most things in life, you know, have science behind it, even behavior, right? So they have behavioral scientists that assess behaviors. Like I remember I was talking to this one chick a long time ago, and we went to the dog park. I have dogs, and she wanted to come with me. You know, she really used it as trying to seduce me, you know, but she wanted to go to the dog park with me because she had to run some behavioral assessments on dogs. So even something as unintelligent as dogs, you know, relative to us, dogs are intelligent animals, but relative to humans who are on top of the food chain when it comes to intelligence and stuff and intellect, they're pretty low on dogs. But my point is that even dogs have different behaviors that people can assess, and they have tests in order to do that. So what I'm saying is that when people make these tests, and it might just seem like some senseless, meaningless riddle, but no, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I would pretty sure. If I had to put money on it, I don't know, but if I had to put money on it, which I don't see why I would, but if I had to put money on it, I would think that there's probably some type of behavioral test that was created by behavioral scientists or somebody that studies behaviors. It's more of a measure of integrity than anything. That part too. Without sick or people needing medical care, I'm essentially out of a job. I mean, yeah. So that's why they always say you can't go wrong with science and in the medical field or in science, right? Because people always want to invent things, and if not, they will always. Technology is always improving, you know, which just goes with inventions. But technology is always improving, and people always are being born, dying, or getting sick, and that's just true. So yeah, I don't think there's anything grim about that. But I mean, it depends on how you say it, though. Of course, I don't know what you said. I ain't defending what you said because I don't even know what you said. Because y'all be getting crazy, man. Y'all wild. Doc is dog shaming now. What? Wait. How? Wait, what? How am I dog shaming? Boy, y'all be reaching, bro. They done wore off on you, Oscar. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I was fat shaming, dog shaming. I'm prejudiced. That's crazy, bro. I'm everything besides me. Dang, my back just cracked. That felt good though. Ooh, dang. Hold on, I got another one. All right, good. This up. Boy, I cracked every single time except for the last one. But yeah, man, I had my dogs going to the dog park, and she was there, and she did her behavioral assessment for her class or whatever it was, and you know what I'm saying. She was assessing the doggy styles, and I executed the doggy style. You know what I'm talking about? She was checking the styles of the dogs, and I was doggy styling. You know what I'm talking about? Dog is dog shaping. That's crazy. Did you see CC new boot? I showed it on stream, fool. Chill with those allegations, man. Chill with those allegations, man. I showed it on stream when you sent it to me, but I'm about to look it up. Wait, you ain't see it, Oscar? Said spoiler. I thought Oscar was here. I thought Oscar said no. Oscar saw it because I remember Oscar. You said it looks a little sus to me. That was you that said that. Oscar, remember? I got a good memory, bro. Yeah, that was you that said that. If I'm not mistaken, that was Oscar. He said I don't know. It looks a little sus to me, Doc. When we were looking at it. Yeah. I feel like that was Oscar who said that. So you seen it, unless it's a new picture. You feel me, Dub? Hey, Dub understood what I was talking about. Oh man, yes sir, man. She gave me that. You know what I'm talking about? No Diddy.
No Diddy.
I was a little white chick, you know. So is Danny Garcia wearing two sauna suits? don't know, man. He said, "Who you vote for, Trump or Kamala?" I'm going with Kamala. She's not the ideal candidate, but she's, in my opinion, she aligns more with my ideals than Trump does. And it's very hard to find the ideal candidate, right? We're all human, so even them, politicians, whether it's Kamala or Trump or Biden or Obama or Mitt Romney, none of them are infallible. None of them are perfect. But you at least want people. It's kind of like the rule of thumb I do for myself, right? Like, I'm not always right. Like, sometimes Dub would be like, "Hey, man, check this," and I'd be like, "Okay, I didn't know that," or But just like, or Ray Davis, like, I thought that Tim Tszyu had both the belts for WBO and WBC. I didn't know that was for a vacant belt. I could have sworn he had 2 belts going into that fight with Fedora, but he only had the WBO. Sometimes I just overlook stuff or I get things incorrectly, but you could always trust that I try my best to be correct, and that's the difference. Some people are incorrect and they don't even care. They'll just say whatever they feel. I don't. I have feelings and I have emotions too, but I don't just operate off of emotions. Oh shit! I thought CC was someone else. Never mind, I was here. Oh, you thought TC? Yeah, you thought CC was somebody else. Yeah, nah, you talking about Caitlin Clark? Yeah. Was he back for that? I know he did that for. Yeah, nah, he was back. He was back. I mean, you can show him again. I can't confirm or deny that question, but he got some. I can't confirm or deny, man. Send it again. I'll show it. Y'all be doing. Y'all get off of CC, man. Let her do her thing, man. We the big dog. Y'all the little brothers. It's crazy, bro. Hey, bro, y'all crazy. But look at CC, man. CC out here doing her thing, man. Shout out to my boy Ty. He was watching the stream. While he took this picture. What y'all doing, man? It's just a picture, bro. It's just a picture with a. I'm assuming that's a fan, or is she a player? No, I don't think she's a player. Nah, it's just a fan. Got on the Fever 22. Hey, just embrace him, bro. It's just a hug, bro. Bro, can't nobody do nothing, boy. I saw somebody saying that Caitlin Clark endorses Kamala Harris. Speaking of the presidential campaign, somebody said that he's endorsing Kamala Harris. Yo, Ray Davis, you still want to hop in the chat real quick? Bro, I just seen it, bro. I missed your message, bro. So when I'm streaming, I don't get notifications from Discord because it automatically goes to streamer mode, and I don't disable it. So when it does that, it means that I get no notifications, no beeps, no ringtones, no nothing, no sound effects, nothing. So I don't know. So if you're still here, you want to hop into Discord, that's fine. Do you think Tank can outbox Shakur? I think he could beat Shakur. I don't know about outbox him, but I think he will have to box well to beat him. But I think he could box well enough to land some of his power shots. Hold on, chat. I'll be right back. It's still a little sus. Yo, I'll be right back, chat. My bad. I have to go. Give me a second. I can check my dogs real quick. Give me a second. Yo, it's Dr. Boxer Talk. Y'all know what it is, man. We in the building, man. The doctor's in the house. I just want to thank y'all for real, man, for the bottom of my heart, for even considering becoming a member, and just want to let you know how much it means to me. That support means a whole lot, man. Always thank God and I always keep it real, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that y'all appreciate the authenticity and me being genuine with all my boxing takes, you know what I'm saying? I have my PhD in engineering, yes, I'm really a doctor, which is just an example and a testimony to how we keep everything real, to keep everything funky, man, and y'all appreciate that. So that really goes a long way to me, and that support goes a long way to keep the lights on, man, and all that stuff. So without that support, I wouldn't be able to do these videos. I left a lot of money on the table, to pursue my dream of content creation, especially in the boxing realm, in the boxing space, as opposed to going and getting a job in industry or academia and making money using my degrees. I decided to chase my dreams, you know what I'm saying? And I just took a leap of faith and, and put God first. And, I give y'all genuine takes, and y'all really appreciate that. So that means a whole lot to me. I'm not going to keep you up any longer. I'm not going to hold you up any longer, but I just want to say thank you for considering being a member, because without y'all, then this channel wouldn't be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Without that support. And this is what y'all do too, right here, man. You see these big monsters right here? You see these monsters right here? That's Bandit right there, and that's Kimba, man. They eat a whole lot. You know what I'm talking about? So that helps put food on their plate and mine too. You know. So thank y'all, man. Big salute. Love y'all. Remember, with God we can do anything. Without God we are nothing. I appreciate the members, man. Thank you.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold, we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets. Said George W. got shoes thrown at him infallible and able to pull. I'm telling you, bruh. I'm telling you, bruh. Shout out to my boy Duck the Shoe. He said CC had a thick one. For this bad time, bro. CC just, hey man, I don't know, man. I you know what's crazy though? I would imagine, and this is no disrespect. I mean, I don't think it would be disrespectful, but I think it would probably be hard to be, because let's face it, right? There's a lot of I would assume that there's probably a lot of people being hit on, a lot of players getting hitting on the other players regardless of their sexuality. So I would think there's probably it's probably commonplace for, you know, a woman, a WNBA player to get hit on regardless of whether they're a lesbian or heterosexual or homosexual or whatever. So it's probably difficult. But I don't know though. Not the outro. Yeah, that's on that commercial. It's built into that commercial. I need to edit it again and edit it out. You seen what the fan threw the pizza box at Victor Ortiz and his trainer? No, I ain't see that. A lot of auntie uncles. Y'all ridiculous, bro. Yo, I just found out Ricardo Lopez from Jaime Noipo is based on Ricardo Alfredito. Yeah, I watch those things, right, where they show like the people, like the videos of the people showing who's who, the real life references in Jaime Noipo. Yeah, I be seeing that, man. There's speaking of CC, man, the Las Vegas Aces clapped the Indiana Fever last night, and then I believe the Seattle Sky got clapped by the Washington Mystics, but you know, Angel Reese isn't playing, man. She's out for the year, so it's kind of hard to be at your best without one of your two best players. You know, I would say Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter are probably the best on Chicago Sky. Asia Wilson becomes a single season leading scorer, man. Talk to Asia Wilson be going crazy, man. Yeah, Washington Mystics beat Chicago Sky by 31 points. Sheesh. Las Vegas Aces beat Indiana by 11 points. Seattle Storm beat the Los Angeles Sparks by 8 points, 90-82. Seattle Storm, you know what I'm saying? Skylar Diggins be getting bottles and buckets. You know what I'm saying? Naka Agumake be balling out there for the Storm as well. Jewel Lloyd as well. Los Angeles Sparks got my boo Rakia Jackson, boy. That's a little cutie patootie right there. A little young and thuggin' right there. They got Cameron Brink, but she injured. Her cast probably stink. Cameron Brink cast stink. You know, she tore her ACL. They also got De'Erica Hamby on the Los Angeles Sparks. So. Good players. Can't say clap referring to women's sports. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. No Diddy, bro. Can't say clap referring to Diddy to Can't say clap referring to women's sports.
No Diddy.
That's crazy, bro. You say you hopping on now? I bet. We see what Ray Davis got to say. If you cut your camera on, I can pull you up as well. I don't know if you can. No pressure either way, though. Yo. We got Ray Davis in the building. What's good, brethren?
What's going on? All right, I just wanted to be up there. It's not that I disagree with anybody. I love the conversation we had earlier about the weight bullying thing. I just want to shine some light on things.
Yeah.
So with Devin Haney always came in closer to weight than he usually does. A lot of people named him a weight bully due to the fact that Loma called him out of shape, you know, when he was walking around, called him a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Which is
Yep.
But then people forget, Regis' program was notorious for always missing, rehydrating over the percentages that he was required.
Yep.
Nobody paid attention to that because it wasn't a big deal.
Yep.
If you look at him in the ring, he was actually planning on coming into that ring bigger than Devin. He knew Devin was coming up in weight. Bill and Devin had some inside information that knew that Regis liked to do this, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why they came in bigger than Regis. Right. So Regis was surprised. Regis didn't even recognize it until that was pointed out by Mill City on an interview.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Right? And the reason why he didn't pursue it is because he knew he also missed weight. He knew he also was over the limit.
Yeah, he came in at 156, I think. Or 158.
158. Right, 158. So he came in over the limit as well. And the craziest part is everyone wants to only look at the Devin side of things. Another fight I would like to bring into question is our boy Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Our boy Josh Taylor came in at 165 versus Teofimo Lopez.
That's a fact.
But nobody talks about it.
That's a fact.
Right? Nobody talks about it because Teofimo won that fight. Now, if it was the other way around, Teofimo might have complained about him being overweight, too big for the division, something bigger, and then people would have probably ran with it, maybe.
Yeah.
But the hatred that Devin Haney receives on a daily basis, okay, I know a lot of people don't like it because of his dad. But really, what has Devin done besides being a great boxer to earn all that disrespect? Nothing. But they do it to shame this guy because I believe in my heart, they believe that he's the biggest threat to Tank Davis. So because they feel that he's the biggest threat and that's their favorite fighter.
Okay. We lost you.
So they like to look at things in a whole different light when it comes to this guy. So at the end of the day, I think that we have to all just let boxing be boxing. If the guy weighs in on the night of the weigh-in or the day of the weigh-in, makes weight, so be it. Want to be smart? Make this guy like Tank Davis did. Make this guy wait till the evening. Make him come in, make him hold that weight all day.
Exactly.
Because if Frank Martin had weighed in early like he was supposed to, he'd probably been healthier. Probably wouldn't have looked as bad.
Right.
He had a whole different weight. I mean, sometimes mind games help, but at the end of the day, we gotta stop looking at people and judging people and going with the narratives as they're being pushed, because there's a lot of hate in boxing, and the hate in boxing is becoming exposed daily because you're starting to see it. And some people like to run with the narratives because they like controversy. That's human nature.
Right.
But we got to step away from that, and we got to start moving to a different side of things where we got to look at it as not being hate, but open our minds to things that happen. The other night on our live, what did I do? You were there. I literally went against the grain on purpose twice. Right. I even went against myself because I played devil's advocate, like I said,
right,
to prove a point. And I had the same guy that was telling me that Tank's the man look at things differently 2 times. So, you know what I mean? Right. Because I was able to paint the pictures without narrating the conversation and twisting it into my opinion and making it truth. Right. I was able to give my opinions and foreshadow what can possibly happen. Basically giving scenarios as opposed to giving false facts.
Right. So Smoochie said, like, who was talking? That's Ray Davis. Oscar said, I get what Ray is saying, but the only reason we brought up Devin because Yoda said he was dehydrated, couldn't take part. Right. Yeah. So we know, exactly, Oscar. Ray, yes, Ray on the mic, Dub. Got me on the radio station yelling facts. But yeah.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna jump back in. I got to do a physical for my job. So I was just walking over to the building. So
yeah, man. Appreciate you jumping in, man. Appreciate that, bro.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, man. Enjoy your day, man. God bless.
You got it.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yep. Shout out to Ray Davis, man. I agree. Yep, I agree with those points. I think that I don't think I like the fact that he shed his light on his perspective. I don't think that anybody would disagree with that. Anybody who I would consider unbiased and objectively looking at the situation. I don't think he said anything wrong. In fact, I think he said is essentially echoed what I said. Like, I don't think that the weight bullying is necessarily wrong, but I think when people say weight bully, a lot of times they also attach cheating to it, and I don't think that's cheating. But I do think coming over the weight limit excessively is being a weight bully. That's what you're using it to your advantage. That's all it means to me. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, yeah, I agree with what Ray said as far as somebody coming over. Now, the only part that I wanted to ask, but I know he said he had to go, was the Regis Prograde thing. I didn't know that he violated those terms, but even if he did violate those, even if he did come in excess of the percentage in California, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it's 15 or 18%, that hasn't been fully implemented yet. At least to my understanding, it hasn't been implemented yet. But that's just something that they were considering. So I would like him to, if he's talking about the Devin Haney and Regis Prograde fight, I know that there was a lot of misinformation regarding that too. Like people were saying, oh, Devin Haney violated such and such and such, but that wasn't even implemented yet. So that's another thing that kind of corroborates the story. People pushing false narratives. But also too, what I did not know is that Regis being 156 or 158 was over. Let's say even if that threshold was placed, that percentage was in place, you can't come in over 50% more than the weight limit. I wasn't aware that he violated that. So let's see what. But I don't remember. What is it? 15 or 18%? Let's see right now. Let's see what's 15% or 18%. Let's go to the highest one. So let's give him. Let's say it could be 18%. Right. Sorry. Let's go to the lowest one. Let's say he can't be more than 15%. Let's say it's 15%. So what's 15% of 140? So 21 pounds. So 140 plus 21 is 161. So if he came in at 168, then if he came in at 158, then he didn't violate it. But I don't know what it is. Is it 50? Whether or not, even I did the lowest one. So if it's 18%, then of course, then that's going to give him even more leeway. It's going to give him 25 pounds. So the weight limit would have been 165 that you couldn't come up with. So if it is 18%, then Devin Haney was within the limit because 18% of 140 is 25.2, and he came in at 165. I don't remember what the decimal was, so maybe he didn't. But so if it is 18%, even if the rule was in place, Devin Haney came in at 165 on the dot, so he did comply with the rule. But the rule is not even in place yet. Allegedly 15, but it was actual rule that they would have stepped in and sanctioned both Devin and Regis. Right, exactly. So it's 15%. Then if it's 15%, then that means Devin Haney violated it. Because at 15%, that's 21 pounds more, and he came in at 165, so the threshold would have been 161, and then which Regis would have abided by it, but Devin didn't. But like I said, the rule, if you read the whole transcript of when people that post that people were doing, and they were going out their way to sabotage it and push their own narrative. That's what I don't get why people do that. Like if you read the full document, it will say that it is pending approval. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, what Ray Davis is saying is correct, you know, even based on that. But, well, except for the Regis Prograde part, I don't think he violated, even if it was implemented. But, yeah, but Devin definitely, that rule is not implemented yet. However, that still doesn't change my opinion on it. I still think that's weight bullying. But it's not outside the confines of the rules. Like I said, what's the name did it too. You know, Floyd did it too against Marquez. Adrian Broner did it against Vincent Escobedo. Like you said, Josh Taylor did it against Teofimo, but Teofimo won, so people don't say nothing. So I do agree with that. And I do agree also when he said that Devin gets a lot of hate, especially we could see that with the Ryan Garcia outcome, right? If that was the other way around, people would have felt bad for Ryan Garcia, or, you know what I'm saying, and demonized Devin Haney more so than they're doing. And so I do agree with that Devin Haney gets a lot of hate. Now, is it because of Tank's fans? I don't know. Is it because of Ryan Garcia's fans? I don't know. I don't know why. If it's because of Bill Haney? I don't know. You know, I like boxers, so I try my best not to pay attention. What I think it is, though, I think it's, I wouldn't say Tank fans, because, I mean, of course, it's always going to be the fans of the person that they like more. So it's always going to be Tank's fans, always going to be Ryan's fans, always going to be Teal's fans. But I also feel like the Devin Haney fans equally hate Tank as much. And I feel like the Teofimo fans, I guess they equally hate everybody else. And it's like the Shakur fans, they equally dislike Tank, and the Tank fans equally dislike Shakur. So I don't know if that is, I don't know. But definitely, yeah, he definitely gets hate. I mean, what fighter? Let's be honest. What black fighter doesn't get hate? That's how it is in boxing, man. So yeah, I definitely think that some of the narratives are hate. I can only speak for myself. When I say somebody's a weight bully, like y'all know that Dave Benavidez is one of my favorite fighters. I call him a weight bully, but I like him. That has no implication on me liking somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's outside the confines of the sport. I don't think it's cheating, but I don't think there's something that we should be scared. It's like Canelo, right? Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. If you ask me, was Canelo on a banned substance? Yes, I would say yes. Was he cheating when he got caught? Yes, that's the whole point. But then he proved that it wasn't intentional, and I know mistakes happen. So that's why I give him a not a pass, but I understand it. And he did not test positive during the fight. So when people try to say, "Oh, do you call Canelo a cheater? Do you call this person a cheater?" Well, if they didn't cheat, there's different levels. All cheating is not the same, right? You know, I do think it's I think it's important to know whether somebody took it to court and they would have called it, you know, they challenged it and they believed in their innocence so much that they were willing to go to court and suffer a potentially worse penalty to prove their innocence, and they did. So I think that means something, but it doesn't mean that they didn't have it in their system. But also having it in your system doesn't mean they had it in the system on the night of the fight, like Ryan Garcia did, and which Canelo and Lisa Bumgarner did not, according to the test. So I don't do no picking and choosing now. The fight that Truth Teller tried to reference before was stopped because of the language of their actual cards that was in place, not because of the kind of rule. What fight did he reference before? I don't remember. You got to refresh my memory. With Shakur having surgery, does that explain his performance? That don't change about the outcome of his last two fights, though. Well, yeah. So the De Los Santos one, does it explain it? I think you got to account for it, right? But no one knows the severity of, and no one knows people's pain threshold. So I don't like to judge on that. But we do have fighters that we could point to, like Floyd Mayweather, who has hand injuries, and his fights aren't boring like that as De Los Santos. But of course, if you use your hands as weapons for your job as a pugilist, and of course having a hurt hand is definitely going to impact you and hinder your performance. But with that being said, it still should have been more exciting than that. I thought the Artem Harutyunyan fight was good. I still don't understand why people complain about that, but kind of like Ray Davis was saying, like I was saying, fighters begin hate. That's true. And I think that people are just hating on Shakur because I didn't think that performance was that bad. To me, the only bad part about the Shakur performance against Artem Harutyunyan was what happened, what transpired in the corner with his grandfather and trainer. I thought that wasn't a good look. The fact that you're winning the fight and you're arguing with your trainer like that, going back and forth, I don't think that bodes well. Because in my opinion, if you're arguing and you're winning, can you imagine if you're going through some adversity, like you're losing? So you're losing the fight, going through adversity, and you argue with your corner, you're not seeing eye to eye. I think that's a bad look. But as far as his performance goes, I mean, I feel like the people that were mad about Shakur's performance against Artem want Shakur to be something he's not. They want him to be a knockout artist like Tank Davis or whatever. It's like, it seems like people were more disappointed in the performance of Shakur and Artem Harutyunyan than they were in Teofimo and Steve Claggett. And I don't understand that. Or Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz. Like, that was a bad performance as well. So he said, what's Shakur? Does it? I don't think it explains his performance, but I do think that it so I don't think it's a full explanation for it, but it does. If you're a sensible person, my opinion, you have to consider that, man, his hands are going bad or his hands are hurt. So I could kind of you have to be like, oh man, I could kind of understand why he may not go so hard for a knockout. I feel like that's just common sense. So while I do think it's a reason to consider, I don't think it fully explains or exonerates him from the boring label or people being hard on him. But I think you should. You should take that into consideration. Like, what? Heck yeah, you should take it into consideration. It's just like when I talk about the Charlos, right? Charlos, no one talks about. Everybody points fingers and laughs at their their family issues and stuff that they're going on, or the fact that he just did a hit and run, which is inexcusable. No excuse for that, which is wrong. But it's like I don't hear anybody bringing up their mental illness, and they've been very open about that, But then when it comes to somebody like Ryan Garcia, people say, oh, well, you know, I think he's going through something mentally. And I'm one of them too. I also said he's going through something mentally, but I also acknowledge the mental issues going with Charlos as well. I didn't just dismiss it. You know, I wasn't dismissive in regards to that. And I do agree that Ryan Garcia is probably going through something mentally as well. But at the same time, I don't think that affords him an excuse to tell Hall of Famers like Zab Judah that SMD when they're just offering him advice, or talk about he's sleeping with another fighter's wife like he did to Caleb Plant, or say that he wants to do horrendous things like resurrect somebody who was killed due to police brutality just to kill him and violate him again, and call him all type of racially discriminatory words. So no, you don't get an excuse from me. But it's just funny that we'll give the people that do all types of horrendous, nasty, prejudice, racist, disrespectful, and just overall ignorant acts, and we'll give him the excuse of being mentally ill, even though he actually had a mental health evaluation, which is what permitted him to go in the fight with Devin Haney. He had a mental health evaluation by the New York State Athletic Commission, and they deemed that they didn't diagnose him with anything. So, but I do think that, like I said, I do think he's going through something. But it's just how much are we gonna factor that into his repulsive behavior? It's like working or fighting with a handicap. Yeah, facts. It depends on the hand injury. Like I was telling you, if it's the knuckle problem, it dampers power. Yeah, facts. I mean, anything, that's common sense. It makes you less prone to throw. Look at Tank versus Pitbull, or Jabel coming off a hand surgery versus Canelo. Yeah. But at the same time, too, you know, we got to try to be consistent, because we don't know people's pain threshold. We don't know the significance, because two people got the same injury and it may not hurt them as much, or one may be one that you can't recover from, and another one may be one that you can recover from. So it depends, right? However, I will say that we've seen people with injuries, like Ty said, and they put on better performances like Tank and Pitbull, but it's still probably a different hand injury, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's when we're pulling at straws there, and we're just being nitpicky, in my opinion. So definitely having a hand injury, yeah, it definitely hinders you, you know, and it could be a reason for a bad performance. Bro, every time I'm on my show, bro, that's when people want to come by, bro. I think they were just dropping a little flyer. Did Lester duck if he fights Bach? If he fights, who the heck is Bach and Bach? Who the heck is that? I don't know who Bach is. But did he duck? I don't know. Like I said, that, you know, remember when Trevor McCumbee got hurt, people said it was a fake injury just so they could reschedule the fight on the Canelo card, which is what they did. So I don't know, man. You know, like I said, I don't really get into the conspiracy theories. I'm not really one to conspire. So is that a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility that he didn't really fall ill. He could have just wiggled his way up out of there for another fight. I don't know, but I like I said, I'm not skeptical like that of some people, man. I'm not big on labeling people ducks unless I feel very certain about that label. But I don't know. Ryan just needs to learn accountability. That's the only mental health he needs. Talk to him, Kendrick. Talk to him, Kendrick. Talk to him. Ryan needs to learn accountability.
Yeah.
That's the only mental health he needs.
Yeah.
It's a fact. People need to learn accountability. Nobody's accountable, bro. With knuckle injuries, it takes a couple of fights, even off surgery, to fully come back. But in most cases, it depends on how comfortable the fight is or how strong, though, they are mentally. Yeah, of course. I mean, but once again, you can get a hair fracture on your hand and be out just as long too. So, like I said, once you say a hand injury, that's good enough for me. I don't get into the specifics. I think people do that too much. You know what I'm saying? This is coming from somebody who also hurt their hand too, had a hairline fracture, and it doesn't matter if you hurt, you hurt. You know, some people may be able to fight through a pain like a Kobe Bryant. Some people may not be able to fight through a pain and be injured from hurting their big toe like Anthony Davis. If you're out, you're out. You know what I'm saying? We could judge that stuff and say whatever. But if you're out, you're out. You're hurt, you're hurt. And especially if you go to the doctor and they diagnose you with something, then you're hurt. So I could really care less. I think that's Shakur. Nah, you good, Ty. I know what you meant. I think when people do that, they're just being nitpicky, and it's like indicative of them liking or not liking a fighter. You know, Tank was able to get through his fight in a more exciting fashion with his hand injury, but like you said, Shakur's hand injury could be worse. But more importantly, Shakur's not that type of fighter anyway to be like Tank. So if you're going and expecting that Tank and Shakur should have similar excitement or a similar fighting style, then you're already wrong, and you put Shakur at a disadvantage as far as your interest in his fights, because that's not the type of style fighter he is. It's like even Floyd, he hurt his hands too. You know, you could virtually, Floyd is undefeated, but if he would have lost, then I'm sure people would say, oh, he lost because his hands were hurt. Well, that doesn't take away anything. You know, he still, we should also factor that in when we consider a lot of his wins. He won despite his hands being hurt, and we should applaud that. But people only focus on things when they're trying to make an excuse for somebody or they're trying to knock somebody. You know, but yeah, he's always had his hands hurt, right? For a long time. Long times ago's days. What's the average time it takes to recover from surgery like that? I don't know, Oscar. I don't know. He said he tore a tendon in his knuckle. I don't know which hand. I don't know what tendon. I'm not sure. It just annoys me when I hate hand and wrist injuries, because with some you can still train or fight, but with others you could be so. Yeah, facts. Bro, I hurt my finger the other like 3 weeks ago playing with my dogs, man. I felt something pop in my finger, and that jump been hurting ever since, man. And I could barely make a fist, but I'd be wondering like, dang, when's it gonna heal? Usually I heal pretty quickly. I ain't saying I'm Wolverine, but gosh dang, this was a long time ago. I feel like long enough for it to be healed, so I don't know what I did. It felt like something pulled though. I was like playing with my dogs and squeezing them real fast and let them go squeeze them. And yeah, I felt something pop in my ring finger, in my left hand. You know, I feel like I have worse injuries than that, and you know, it heals faster. But sometimes, you know, little injuries take a long time, and sometimes big injuries go fast, or you know, what hurt at that moment doesn't hurt as much longer, or what didn't hurt right at that moment hurts more later, you know. So it's just different how your body reacts. But chat, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. I'm trying to see what Kendrick was saying. It just annoys me when, and then he stopped. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Remember, we do have a fight tonight. Andrea Holmes Jr. versus Hugo Noriega is gonna be in Michigan, man. In in Flint, Michigan, with that water. You know what I'm talking about? So we're gonna see that fight, man. I'm looking forward to that. Ardeel Holmes, excuse me. I said Andrea. Ardeel Holmes. Oh man, excuse me. He's gonna be fighting tonight at 8 o'clock on the Zone. Is gonna be at junior middleweight, 154. So we will watch that. So y'all tap in for the late show. Appreciate y'all joining on the morning show. Remember, if you enjoy the content, the daily content, don't forget to hit that like button. But more importantly, to keep us going and growing, consider sending some love to the Cash App right there going on your screen, as well as hitting a super sticker or a sticker on the chat, or a super chat, or consider becoming a member for $3 a month, man. It really helps the channel grow and keeps us going and growing. You know what I'm talking about? Kendrick said, it annoys me when people use mental health as an excuse when I deal with people who have real mental health issues. That's a fact. Yeah, but I had mental health, you know, I'm not saying everything, but, you know, being in life and being around different things and expanding your horizons put you in different situations. But I had mental health. I have, I guess it would be indirect because it's not myself. Well, no, it's direct because it's people that I live with, right? Cohabited the space. You know, I had a roommate in college who was Baker acted and had mental health issues. I'm talking about like losing his mind. I had to take him out of class. I had to take him to the hospital from the crib multiple times. I have a brother who has mental health issues. You know, and being incarcerated definitely didn't help. And I believe that he got some of the mental health issues from, you know, from the multiple incarcerations and stuff like that. And they put you on medication that doesn't really help, you know, makes you lethargic and all types of stuff. And, you know, and then also I have another brother who has some mental issues as well. But yeah, so yeah, and none of them have ever demonstrated any type of hateful. You know, they do some wrong things, but never hateful or racist or anything like that, man. So I think that Ryan Garcia is definitely using it as a crutch. But hey, who am I to say? But shout out to those that have mental health issues, legitimate ones. I hope they get through it, because mental health is no joke, and they're hard to diagnose, you know, and treat. So
Shout out to everybody. You know, Danny Garcia, you know, was going through his mental health issues. Remember when he came back during the Errol Spence fight? He talked about that during his interview with what's the dude name, Chris Maddox from DAZN, and then also his interview with Steven Jackson. You know, those are pretty good interviews, man. So yes sir. Clean break is just a 6 month with no setbacks. He said, like, it's just a tendon, no break. 3 months. If he's comfortable at a hardline fracture, we're looking at 6 months to 10 months if it's not a clean break. He said, thank you for the info. He said, Tio. Yeah, Tio said he had the mental health issues as well. You know, Danny Garcia, Tio Fimo, Jamal Charlo. I say both the Charlos, but mostly Jamal Charlo. And that's true. And then, you know, another thing with mental health too, man. A lot of mental health things, right? It's what people admit, what you're willing to put out in the public and be vulnerable with. There's a lot of people that go through things that demonstrate or exhibit mental fortitude or just overall fortitude. It doesn't mean that they're not going through something, chat. So a lot of times, you know, we say, oh, woe is, you know, oh, poor this person, poor that person. I'm not saying that people don't go through things with more severity than others or more extreme cases. But at the same time, too, there are also people that are, just because you're more likely to cry in public and just because you're more emotional and more willing to be vulnerable, don't mean that your problems or your troubles or tribulations or trials are any more significant than people that don't. A lot of people assume that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll see like a guy that seems tough, right? You know, and then you think that their life is perfect or they go through that nothing really affects them, you know? It does. So like with Devin Haney, no one cared about his mental health when they were making memes and talking trash about him. And that's part of the job, right? Because of the territory. You know, no one thinks about his mental health. You know, but they think about the mental health of the person that cheated and put him in that situation. You know, that's just funny. No one thinks about the mental health of, let's say, Canelo, like, right? With Canelo, everybody constantly calling him out and people constantly saying somebody's ducking and doing this. No one thinks about that, you know, or the impact on them, and not even just famous people, anybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you gotta consider that, man. Life is tough, man. Everybody's going through life. Everybody has their troubles. You know, or like even with Tyson Fury, like, you know, Tyson Fury was going through his coke. I'm sorry to laugh. Going through his cocaine binge, you know what I'm saying, that booger sugar. Was he partying or was he going through something? You know, he says he's going through something. I don't know if it's true or not, or he's just partying too hard. I don't know. But, you know, or even with Anthony Joshua, where he had this breakdown in the Usyk situation and all the stuff that he said, you know. So as people conveniently choose when they want to be responsive or acknowledge when people are going through something, man. The weight of the world ain't no joke. Weight of the world ain't no joke, and that happens for everybody, whether you're a bagger at Winn-Dixie or Publix, or you're a world-class superstar MVP athlete like LeBron. Pressures of life, pressures of keeping up with the times, keeping up with the Kardashians, you know, and everything, man. Having your money right, you know, a roof over your head, your family responsibilities, especially if you have kids or you just have people you want to take care of, like your parents or your siblings. Mental troubles are serious. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with me as always, man. I'll be back for the late show. Y'all, those of you new to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, turn on notifications as well. We drop videos periodically throughout the day, and Monday through Friday we go live twice, you know what I'm saying, for the morning show at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and the evening show or the late show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as well as on the weekends, we go live and we provide live boxing commentary. And we go live on the weekends as well. We just don't have a set time yet. And I don't know if I'm ever going to put a set time on the weekends, you know, since we do 2 streams a day, Monday through Friday at a set time. I feel like on the weekends when I go live, I can just freestyle. But we definitely, if you've been paying attention, we don't miss a day. We don't miss a beat. You know what I'm saying? I think the last time we missed a day of streaming was when I was moving. And then when I had the tornadoes, I had my power out for 6 days. So, yeah, they say Devin always grew up privileged. He doesn't have the responsibility of a father, so he never struggled with mental health. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they say, man. People, like I said, he grew up privileged. I mean, I don't know how people can make those assessments. You know, even privileged kids and people go through things differently. You know what I'm saying? A big problem to me might be a small problem to you. A small problem to you may be a big problem to me. So we may not see them. A lot of times when you don't have much, especially when financially, right, we think that being rich solves all problems. I mean,
you know, God forbid you have any type of health issue. But look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, how old was he? He was in his 50s or 60s when he passed away. Money couldn't cure that thing he had. So that's an extreme case, but I'm saying that money definitely helps in the world we live in, because money can afford you a roof over your head, can afford you a meal on your plate, and food in your stomach, or mobility with a car to drive and maybe take care of your loved one's problems. But sometimes there's other problems too, like what happens when those lights go off and you in the dark by yourself. You know, what about your self-confidence? What about your security? You know what I'm saying? Or your insecurity, rather. What about, you know, your relationships that you have? You know what I'm saying? So money doesn't solve everything, but it damn sure helps. But a lot of times we think that when just because someone is financially privileged, that they don't have any problems, and that's a bad way to look at it. But definitely, when you have money, it makes things a whole lot easier. We got to acknowledge that too. But shit, y'all be easy, man. Take care of yourselves. I'll be back on for the late show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all know what it is, man. Don't forget to hit that like button. But more importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But with Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.